your mic is on. Oh.
Say it.
Check it.
Check.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
My mic is on.
Try some hash.
Okay. But now they're going off again.
Oh.
It's Vinnie. It plays over our intro so we don't get copyright stricken.
Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I'm your host, Adam Dunn.
I'm Dave Charnick.
We're live in the studio with a legend, with a wizard. We got wizards and legends, and we got all sorts of fun guys hanging around here. It's a Fun Guys show.
That was a good one.
Did you like that?
I did like that.
It's that 1:35 in the morning brain fart. Oh, dude, that's it. Perfect.
Two
fun guys. There
It was
we go.
2:30 in the morning last
We
guest.
got Mr. Travis Tyler Flug, via Skew on Instagram, and cover model for the Westword here.
Do you have that image? Do you have the image handy?
Yes, I'm sure we
get
do.
it. It's his cover model. I couldn't even believe it. And the funny part about this is because we had our second guest who's coming on, Kevin Cranford, who is the communications director for MAPS. I was like, well, if he's coming on, we got to get Travis on because they need to commingle. It'll be great. It'll manifest something really cool. And then I found out it was the 1 year anniversary and all this cool shit was going down. Or 6 year, sorry, 6 year anniversary. And all this cool shit was happening. And I was like, wow, this is made in heaven.
Perfect storm. Yeah.
I know. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Happy Friday.
And I already got like 5 calls from people that were like, I'm so stoked fucking Travis is on
Look
the
at
show.
that. Look at that.
Look at that.
They did that.
I mean, that
to
is a
me.
good photo of you.
They did
it's
that to
great.
me.
And I used that photo for this ad, so it was perfect.
He uses it
Wonderful.
for
It was
all the
freshest-
dating apps.
It was the
So-
fresh. That's a good photo.
So has everyone seen Pulp Fiction?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the photographer comes to me and he says, check this out. It's going to be Pulp Fiction briefcase because they have that briefcase that they open with the light,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
meets River Styx Ferryman.
And they nailed it.
And I was like, just don't make me look menacing.
I don't have any water for this one.
You are one useless.
I
man.
expected to
Good
be
picture.
in a nursing home holding somebody's hand, like really sweet, you know, like end of life, you know.
I would never refer to myself as a shaman.
The optics on that photo don't play as well as you in
No,
Pulp
that,
Fiction.
That looks
Well,
good.
this works really well for everybody that knows me. You know, they're like, "Oh, check you out."
Nothing about that photo surprised me at all.
Yeah.
When I looked at it, I went, yep, they got it, they nailed it.
Yeah, it wasn't my staff, and it wasn't my black.
they
hoodie,
brought the
but-
staff.
Yes.
Wow, they're really thinking
Originally, we were going to go out to a dock that extended into a lake, and then he realized the dock was on private property.
about it. Plus,
and
it's
that-
not very Colorado
dock
either.
of
It's
the
like a
bay.
bunch of water, and you're like, wait, where am I?
We're a landlocked
Right?
state.
So we went behind REI,
Oh, way better.
Of course you did.
where the little waterfall is. So that's like in the middle of the city that picture is taken.
Good job. Well, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't even know until Kyle said, dude, and he was just on Westward. Good job. And I'm like, really? I didn't even know that. So,
Yeah, they wanted. I thought I was going to be like a contributor to the kind of central idea there, and then the editors just kept asking for more information, and then they pretty much told me it was going to be a 3,000 word feature.
nice.
So that was
gonna be
pretty
a cover.
cool. Well, I
Then
didn't
a
know.
cover.
I didn't know
Then a
until
cover.
the day of
Then a cover.
if I was going to be on the cover. And I went to a coffee shop that I frequent to go have my moment to sit down with it. It wasn't there. They told me they don't get their delivery until in the middle of the night, so I would have had to come back Friday to do the same thing. I taught a class that evening, and one of the people that attended was one of my friends, and she just kept encouraging me to go to Safeway after the fact because she's like, I know they're there. I know they're there. So we get there, we get to the box, and we're kind of making a little scene. And these two cops that are having their mid-shift meal in the cafe area are kind of like, what is going on over there? So I take the Westword and I hold it up to my face, and I stand up and I'm like, look. And they like, it takes them a second, but they're like, holy shit.
You're like, up against the wall. Where's all the mushrooms?
No,
Empty your pocket, sir.
We have a moment. I tell them my role in all of this, and they, the one officer hands me his card and said, would you be willing to come and teach the police force about mushrooms? Wow. Because when these laws were passed, all we got was a 20-minute training video, and we don't think that's enough. So
that's huge.
I
You're
thought
gonna,
that
you're gonna accept, I hope. Do it.
I would like to.
Yes, of course.
I'm also working with the governor's advisor on natural medicine. I'm going to be teaching a class at his house next Wednesday with a bunch of people that work in the governor's office. So we're going to try and figure something out.
So basically, you're going to dose everybody with in the punch bowl? No, we ain't going to do that. We'd never do that.
I don't need. I can like. I don't need to dose them without consent. I can dose them with consent.
That would be
which is
That would be the
cooler.
question. If it's legal for an adult over 21
Lawful.
lawful,
Yeah.
I think the federal part of it still remains the reason why officers could not participate, because it would most of the state's police policy, even though it's a state policy, they all defer to the federal government. So if it's still illegal on a federal level, I don't see them giving officers leeway. I think it's a little different than the ruling in Las Vegas about cannabis. But who knows? Maybe officers can now microdose.
Well, it was put into the state law that you cannot lose your job for using mushrooms. You cannot lose your kids for losing mushrooms. You know, like there's all kinds of
Until they take them away and you lose your job.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I will believe it when it's what's
That's
the proper?
is that a freak show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On a leash. Let's see.
When it's adjudicated, right? It would be the word.
One more.
Uno más. Gracias.
So what does it look like when it buds? Does it?
I'll show you. I got
Does
some
it-
flowers on me. I can show you. Let me see. I got to figure this one out. This is a whole complicated mess. But go ahead. Keep going.
So is that a land race, or that's just something that came out of the?
So the freak
somebody-
show is
yeah.
from a guy named Max, and him and his dad. So basically, he just found this mutation in a cross of honey banana and Big Sur holy weed, I believe, and something else. And it was just literally one mutation that they figured out. Like, this is crazy. Like this is called a pine. They've even come up with their own terminology. This is a pineate type.
Okay.
Which has these like tiny, and there's all different versions of it. You can see like ones with extremely long and less leaflets, and you have ones that have lots of leaflets, and
That's super cool, and I mean, granted, in the fall it's gonna stink anyway, but it would.
most people wouldn't recognize it
Yeah.
until it flowers.
It looks like a fern.
and then once
Yeah.
it flowers,
Yeah.
it's pretty. I wouldn't say pretty obvious because it still has that fern vibe to it, and if you're in the right place.
Well, there's that smell. You can't get away from that, especially if you're downwind
that
of it.
smell.
You know?
Here's some. This is like 8 months old because I had to show people like what it looked like.
Okay.
It's still good. Still has some terps considering it's 8 months old.
Yeah.
And it's but when it's kind of on the I would say floral more than anything. You know what I mean? It's not skunky or funky or any gassy or anything like that. But it does have a good floral vibe to it, and it makes pretty interesting hash also because it's very loose. So you get lots of. It's easy to get the hash off.
Have you looked under a scope? Is it like fractal in the way the structure just keeps?
I
getting
mean,
weird?
I think all weed is fractal, right? If you take
No,
a tiny
well, I'm just
clone and
saying,
look at
like-
it, you're like, that's just like a giant plant. And then
Right. If you
but-
have a micro representation of that when you look at it and you look at trichome development and you look at
I mean, it's normal if you get down to that level. You're
Okay.
not seeing a difference between that.
That's
but,
what I'm asking.
Like, I wish that the trikes were
like
like
are the
that.
roots weird? You know.
Nah, not necessarily, but it is. What I've noticed is when I make crosses with it, is it unlocks these like massive genes, like not necessarily weird, but like huge, like prehistoric sized leaves and stuff coming out of it. So something in the background of that plant was some massive, big
Huh.
giant plant, and because I've had things that the plant itself is not small, but then I cross it to something, and then everything I cross it into becomes bigger.
It's great.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, never a bad thing.
Cool. I don't have very long, so is there is there meat to what we're doing here
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
today?
whoa, whoa.
Oh, he's
What
already
is
on
this?
his way out.
What
Look
is
at
this?
him.
You don't have very long.
Oh, no, he's
Your
busy.
people said we had you for the whole night.
No, he knows that.
The whole
Well,
night. They were just like, he has nothing else to do and no
He's
life.
not going
My
to
people play
concert.
games, apparently.
I spoke to your mushroom people.
They play games.
Yeah.
I spoke to your mushrooms. They told me what's up.
Yeah,
They said
they're
control-
tricksters.
They said they control you, and
They're
they can do
tricksters.
whatever you want, whatever we want them.
You're gonna walk out of here before the Maps guy comes on,
No,
and then
can't.
you can't grovel to him to get the speaking gig, or
No, we're only.
he can recognize that you're
7 minutes
I
out.
just wanted to make sure that if there's like something of substance that we're going to talk about.
You're
that
on the
doesn't
Adam
be-
Dunn show.
Where
You know
are you?
You're on the Adam
Doesn't
Dunn
become
show.
this like
Those words do
this,
not
like,
make sense in our
afterthought.
world. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
budget.
by the way.
It's like budget and substance. Those are two things we don't
Did
understand.
the
around here.
mushrooms replace you with another you? You've been here before, man.
Yeah.
Well,
But
this is
we're
not
very,
how-
but we're very. I've never been here like fresh. I don't think. I think I've always just dropped in when there was already.
No,
like-
you've been here fresh.
Oh.
Yes, you have.
Well,
Yeah, the mushrooms are playing games with you right at the moment. Then I think.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I want let's come up with some grilling questions, some incredibly in-depth
No,
questions.
yeah.
No, well, I'd like. I mean, my first one out of the gate for Kevin would be, did the it was the FDA or the DEA's ruling on MDMA make them halt their trials?
This is not Kevin. But
No, I know.
I'm
we
just
were
checking.
Yeah.
we were thinking questions for Kevin. I thought that's what you said.
No.
For Travis?
No, he wants to know what he's here for, not Kevin.
No, I just like. Is there anything you would like to talk about?
Yeah.
You're here for fluff.
Okay.
He's here for his,
Great.
for his cover, because
Great.
his
No, you're-
cover model, dude. We got cover model. Look at
This is all because of you, man. I mean, whether or not you like to take and wear that, but everything that's happened, the reason why MAPS is here in Colorado.
See, I make that argument, but they still haven't invited me in. So
Well, but maybe they haven't heard it yet. You've made the argument to the wrong ears.
yeah.
So maybe they'll hear that now. But if they don't recognize that the reason why we have the Natural Medicine Health Act, even though it wasn't your choice for what a law should look like, we have it because of what you did here in Denver, getting a decriminalization ordinance not only passed, but accepted amongst the people that live here. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. You can pass any law you want. If the people don't like it, it's gone the next voting session. Or some city council person writes in a poison pill rule.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It stayed.
Yeah. I pull that card very rarely, but the last time Maps came to town, I was definitely butthurt. The biggest thing is that they were running a workshop and charging people $300 a ticket, and it sold out. There were 100 people. So they brought in 30 grand for them to run a workshop to tell them how they did my job, and I didn't get tapped to run the workshop.
Again, I don't know.
I was like, how do you do that?
Yeah, I get it.
don't-
I get it.
It's not deaf ears. It's
Yeah.
the wrong ears.
No, I know.
So now we have Kevin coming in. He was going to come in, but he didn't like that photo. He's against poker, but because Mark put that photo up there, he called and said he's not going to do the show.
Thanks.
You know.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Ruined
yeah,
another
appreciate
show.
it. No,
I thought you were leaving. Aren't you going to ruin the
I
show?
said
I'm
that
leaving a
already.
Patreon. I'm leaving a Patreon.
Oh, okay.
it's the nuggets.
Filling half of my duty. No, it's not. I'm not. I'm going to be driving for the whole first half, actually. So yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Do you have serious? Are you going to be able to listen to the
Yeah,
car?
my family doesn't take basketball seriously like I do. You know, and that's the problem.
Oh.
It's really a problem.
Okay.
But they love the show.
Balls life.
They love listening to the show because
Okay.
they can learn so much because we are so worldly.
So that's
No.
what I'd love to. You know, I'm not grilling him or anything, but I mean, I hope that if you were to just look at the big picture, it has to be. I mean, it's right. It's either Denver or somewhere in Oregon, right? I mean, where else could they have this event and not risk massive arrests? So take it. You don't have to pull it out. You don't have to pull the card out. We'll do that for you.
You know, I do when I have to. I just have gotten tired of hearing myself bitch about it. So I'm ready to like.
Wait, how long do we have? We have 3 minutes. Mark, do you think you can get a light in right here so it shines up in Travis's face like the whole Pulp Fiction thing? You know?
No.
And 2 minutes, Mark. Come on. This light's not even on.
He has to leave.
So, really, I want to hear from him what the future of maps, at least what he thinks is going to happen, what emerging states are going to come on board, because it's the same dialogue we had at the beginning of cannabis legalization. Who's going to be next? It's great that Colorado did it and Oregon did it, but if other states don't follow, it's all for naught.
Yeah, well, they are following, but they're following with the therapy only.
The 122 idea.
You know, which is like what New Mexico just did.
And
Everybody's celebrating it, you know, and it's like
everybody celebrated, including Bill Maher, when they announced Schedule 3 for cannabis.
Thank God that did.
Right? So
is that happening?
No.
Nothing's happening.
Can I
right
ask
now.
you this question? Because you'd probably know this. A Schedule 3 pharmaceutical cannot be taxed at the state level. So if you make cannabis a Schedule 3, does that mean that the states can't tax it anymore?
I don't know the answer to that, but because you have to ask the question prior to that, which is, if you could only be in possession of a Schedule 3 controlled substance with a prescription from a doctor, and it has to be in the prescription bottle at all times. If it's separated from its prescription bottle, then it's a crime. So there are so many issues to discuss, not just one. I'm glad they're not doing anything. But when you can get people like Bill Maher, who owns a business and didn't realize when he was on his show talking about, well, we're going to legalize. And we had on Tony, who said, go right ahead. I'll be the only business owner. They're going to shut you down. It's a Schedule 3 controlled substance, right? CS, 'cause that's what he brought up a couple of times, right? That it was controlled.
You know, this whole schedule or Marinol Schedule 3, right? Mm-hmm. So if synthetic psilocybin hits, it's going to come out as Schedule 3, which means it's going to be completely able to circumvent the natural medicine health situation, and it'll be just like ketamine clinics. You have psilocybin clinics, and all of the people that have invested all this money into mushroom stuff, it'll just be, you know.
And we know from previous shows that you're not a big synthetic psilocybin.
Well, what if I can produce without cutting corners? If I can produce these doses for pennies, like, what more do you want? What more do you want?
Do you know who Louis Black is?
Yeah.
So you ever hear what he says about the United States political structure? He says, we have two parties. Doesn't matter which one is it. Which? One of bad ideas and one of no ideas. When one finally says, I've got an idea, the other side says, I can make it worse. So recognize that's what's going to happen.
I mean, you know, like that is what has encouraged me to be an activist, is that type of shit.
Oh God, Dave's collapsing the entire.
Like when I was young,
Wow.
I couldn't name what was wrong. I didn't have witty anecdotes about it, but I knew this isn't it.
Oh yeah, you know who's the good guy around here.
Yeah.
Straight to the knee. She's like, get me away from him. Look, she's trying her hardest.
No, she's trying to get something under the table.
Check with your guy. Check with your boy. Is he on there? I think I heard something in the background.
No,
Or is that
that's Vinny.
That's Vinny. Oh God.
Doing
He's
dishes.
getting stressed. It's 1 minute past 5. He's already like, wait, I gotta
Well,
go.
I'm waiting for a text message because someone
Picking you up.
across the state to come and go to this concert with me.
What concert?
Jack White.
That'll be cool.
Dave doesn't know what you're talking about.
Dave's like, if it's not Grateful Dead or a subsidiary of said band, I'm not gonna do it. There's no.
I don't know who Jack White is.
No,
Definitely
no
not.
fish
Tell me who he
orientated.
is.
No salmons. There's no salmons involved.
No
There's-
salmons.
I don't
There's no
listen
cheese.
to fish.
There's
I
no
don't listen
cheese
to
or salmon.
string cheese. I don't listen to leftover salmon.
Okay.
I know he's a dead purist.
No, I listen to classic rock. I'm not into
Yacht rock.
fish.
He's a yacht rock kind of guy. You can already tell.
Oh.
What is it?
Yacht rock.
Yacht rock.
Yacht rock.
It's a vibe.
Dave really comes to this show to learn.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
wow,
He's like,
dude, he really
every
does.
week he's like,
I think that's why he really likes doing it,
Like-
because he
like,
actually
oh.
genuinely learns some hip stuff.
he becomes that much hipper after every show. You too can be like Dave.
Learn pop culture on the Adam Dunn Show.
That's right.
Yeah. So back to mushrooms. You're going to have to own it. You don't have to pull the card out. Let us do that. I'm sure he's well aware, and if he's not, I don't think you ascend to the position of being the communications director for the entire organization and not have a good set of ears. So we're gonna powwow a little bit.
I want to make a trade.
Yeah.
I want to sing for my supper. I would like them to allow me to speak and represent Colorado.
As you should.
And represent, because it's very interesting to come someplace and not tap any of the local talent.
See, this is what happened to Amsterdam
It's-
for me every
you
year with
know,
the
like-
Cannabis Cup, because the Cannabis Cup it started off with them coming and being like wide-eyed and like, wow, show us the ways. And then quickly within a few years, it was like, let me show you how to do it. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you saw like they'd be there not knowing the local situation at
Yeah.
all. And it was like, you can't even do what you guys are
It's like
trying
we
to
have
do.
really cool people that they denied their applications to speak.
That's crazy.
You know,
I guess I want to hear their side. They have a pretty good lineup of speakers. You know, I
Well-
know if you feel they didn't take someone local.
But just think about this. This is like a tired model that you go somewhere to exploit some reason. Why did they come here?
Being confrontational might not get you the
No,
invitation
that's
you're
right,
looking
but this is
for.
why I
As
didn't
your lawyer.
You might wanna change the tone a little bit. Listen to the mushrooms a little bit. Take a more of
But I
how
wasn't
can we
even
find
gonna-
common
yeah.
ground. How can we find out? What I'm just out of curiosity. Very least, maybe what you're saying is extend some invitations to at least come down to some of the local people who have worked hard. But I think if I could stretch it a little bit, I don't think they're trying to be local. I think they picked a venue like most
kind of-
conferences do, and it was because they would have it. First off, there are not many venues that are going to accept.
I mean, I got it. It's the show. You know, Aaron Rodgers.
Again, there's that confrontational attitude.
Will Smith's boy. You know, like
Jaden Smith,
We,
yeah,
we
Jaden
gotta just. I'm telling you, just.
But this year it's going
yeah,
to
but
be
this
slow your
isn't.
roll a
This
little.
is. I wasn't going to instigate it like this. I was just going to ask to be put on the guest list, please.
All right, there we go. So let's take a little dose of Dave here, and we're gonna have to just.
Dude, you have to be a fun guy. Remember that.
Yes, be a fun guy.
I put you out as the fun guys.
I'm hilarious.
Be like the Jerry Springer of Fun Guy show. So is Kevin?
I don't know.
What's
Let's
going
see.
on?
It's 5:05. He's
Oh.
not there yet.
He's.
Well, I'm here now, guys.
Oh, there he
Hi.
is.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's back
Hi.
on stoner. He's back on stoner time. He's like, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I've been in the Zoo. I thought somebody was going to like intro me or something like that, or might have
Yeah.
been like some producer in the background.
Oh, I
know-
apologize that Christina didn't let you know what an unprofessional
yeah.
bunch we are here, but we apologize.
Oh,
For
no,
I couldn't-
I am fully comfortable watching you guys for the last 5 minutes. Like, oh, I can do this. I can do this.
Wait,
can-
All right.
you
Thank
heard
you.
you heard
Thank you.
Travis
That
and me
makes it
ridiculing
easy.
him for you
Yeah,
heard all
yeah.
that. Oh, okay. There we go.
I'm a big Jack White fan, so like, we're going to be famous friends.
Nice. What's
gosh.
going on, Kev?
Welcome to the show, Kevin.
Hi.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now we can see you.
Yeah,
Because we didn't see you, so we didn't know you were there. So we were just like, maybe he's there. And I heard some grumbling, and I thought that was
Sorry,
my other guy.
So
Good manners.
let's just let's
Proper.
introduce
Oh yeah, it's such a
Kevin
long,
Cranford, a communications officer for MAPS. Did I get the title right? I keep saying chief communications officer, but then I'm like, do you have a C-suite executives on MAPS? And maybe I'm saying it wrong, but communications officer.
Kind of hierarchical and not at the same time.
So on the show also is Travis Fluck. I don't know if you know Travis or anything about him, but he's our. I mean, shaman might not be the right word,
don't
but,
use that
but
word,
he's
please.
our
No,
teacher.
no.
He's the one that
Okay.
first brought the really the subject of the politics behind mushrooms in Colorado to our attention. He's
Okay.
also the architect for the Denver decriminalization ordinance, which had its 6th year anniversary yesterday. Which,
Wow.
if we're stretching, is the reason why we have Amendment 61, even though or Amendment 58, which became the Natural Medicine Health Act. It was really not the one that he was working on, but it's something, and it's because of the work he did here in Denver. So we invited him down to have him so that you guys could meet each other and, bromance, mushroom,
Bromance.
fun guy.
Thank you for your activism. We need folks like that. I mean, like you said, it might not be the exact bill that got to the state level, but it was the start. It was the seed. So that's what we need across the nation is folks like just turning on these little municipalities, cities, towns, and then hopefully it bubbles up to the state level and national level.
Yeah, that was what that was the initial thought. But the complication became when an out-of-state entity came in and kind of took the reins, because instead of resourcing the people that had actually done the lift, they said, "Oh, no, this is how we're going to do it." And it was essentially a cookie cutter with the Oregon model, and we raised such a fuss that then we got the personal use provision, which I think is actually the coolest part of the whole thing. So.
Yeah, politics are politics.
Yep.
When you have a good idea, somebody's going to swoop in and say, "Hey, it's my idea, and here's a better way to do it," and it just takes it out of the local people's hands. And that's a similar story in a lot of states. So it's not unique to Colorado, but it's unfortunate that's fucking politics.
So are you in the activism world at all, or?
Yep. So the way I got into MAPS, or kind of my origin story, is I was a cannabis activist in Maryland starting in 2010-ish. I was disillusioned by Barack Obama in his second term, or no, 2012-ish, right on his second term. He just didn't legalize it yet. So I was like, I'm gonna have to put my voice out there and do it. So I started with Maryland NORML. I worked with the Minority Cannabis Association, National Cannabis Festival down there in DC. And then through my contacts and activism work, I ended up at MAPS a couple of years later.
Super cool. I got in trouble in Garrett County a while back. Do you know where that is?
I do, and I wouldn't be caught in Garrett County getting any kind of trouble.
I was pulled over by a good old boy with snakeskin shoes, and he caught me with a speck of green, and pretty much said, "If you have a seed here, you go to jail." It was pretty.
That's Western Maryland.
It's pretty awful, yeah. And I think I was doing 71 and a 70. Yeah.
Crazy. Damn. Shout out to Garrett, Maryland.
Garrett County.
Shout out to Garrett County, Maryland.
Let's put that on the do not travel list, Mark. Can you add that to the chat and alert everybody out there? We don't want to be driving
Mark,
through that.
do some work around here. No.
Yeah.
Wow. Pushback.
Oh, Kevin, this is Mark. He's our sound producer and just
AKA
our
Shitty
everything.
Jamie. He's our Shitty Jamie. So
He doesn't really like us or like
you
his
can't
job.
just bark orders at him and expect anything to happen, because it's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
My
sure.
degree
Occasionally.
production, so I know all about that life. So good job, Mark. You're doing great.
No editing ever, please. Don't even
Don't
go
edit.
there. Yeah.
All right, so MAPS is taking or holding the position of the largest psychedelic conference.
Yes. Yep. We're throwing PS 25, billed to be the largest psychedelic conference.
And the question I had, because I was paying attention to this a couple of years ago when the last MAPS was here, is that they were looking for participants for an MDMA PTSD trial and an MDMA borderline trial. But then I read that the FDA had some problems with MDMA in general, and I'm wondering, did those trials go forward? Are they still being planned? Did you get enough participation? Do you know anything about it?
So what we know now is the FDA last summer did not accept our new drug application for MDMA for PTSD studies. Currently, MAPS or LICOs are sister company, former company. They don't have any studies going on right now. They're still in negotiations with the FDA to try to figure out ways forward after this their non-approval.
That's a shame. That's a shame. So what's the future?
Forward, one step back. Right now, negotiating with the FDA, seeing if they want more science, see if they want new science, seeing if we can take the science we have and prepare it in a better way so that they will accept it. But it's negotiations, lawyers, legal, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's the movement. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We had big aspirations and hopes for last summer that didn't go our way. But we're a 40-year-old organization that we're thinking long term. So we said to keep at it.
And how is sort of I mean, I know how psychedelics are being positioned here in Colorado. We have the sort of the general basis for acceptance, which hopefully will build into something bigger. But what's the sort of the global outlook look like? You know, like Travis, if I had to say, was the ultimate local person. He just thought about Denver and worked in Denver to get this going, knowing that it could be applied potentially nationwide, but it was the start. Are there, I mean, because cannabis was, right, it was either Holland or here, and you couldn't go anywhere, and there was nothing.
Back in the good old days.
And now it's everywhere. You know, now Germany is legalized. Spain is looking towards it.
What is Germany? That kind of killed the whole fun vibe, didn't it? Being two
What you talking about?
Being two fun guys, you understand what I'm talking about, right? So
You will have fun smoking.
Lighten up a little bit.
Yes, I did.
they did $1 billion in
think
taxes, though. They did
that's
$1
the
billion in
messaging.
taxes, so that's not bad for 1 year.
That's serious.
It's crazy, right?
Where's the next, where's the next domino, globally speaking, outside the United States? Is anybody looking at the potential of going, you know what, we can be a first mover in this?
There are countries looking at it. Israel is out there. Switzerland is out there. Portugal obviously has stuff out there with their whole decrim nationally. But a lot of folks are still looking at these United States and how the states are doing it to kind of set up the model. Like you said, it used to be just Holland and Colorado. It's going to take a little while for folks to see how these models work, see how the data is coming out of them, especially like Oregon, the new stuff coming out of there. So it's kind of a wait and see. But we've been having, the psychedelic community has been having conferences all around the world. People are interested. People are wanting to do it. Iceland's another place that has some legislation looks like they're going to be changing. So it's just kind of a wait and see. But the world is interested. They're not as scared as they used to be, it seems.
So I want to go out on a limb and just sort of say that is the organization of MAPS going to take a position on some of the bills that we're seeing being sponsored in other states that kind of fully Western medicinize psychedelic medicine, meaning that you have a gatekeeper as a physician who controls your experience in an antiseptic office where you have to get certification? Or is there any possibility that MAPS, as the entity that you are, would take the position that, you know what, we would really like to encourage bills similar to Amendment 61, which would have put the power to the individual to determine their own mental health and to exist or to use psychedelics where without the gatekeeper of the physician, and it's not a physician, it's a
Facilitator.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever word they're using in the state you're in.
Facilitator, yeah.
We'd want the latter. We'd want something where a person can take their own self-autonomy and do whatever they want, wherever they want, safely, however they want within the laws. Do we always get that in every state? No. Do legislators want that in every state? No. We're not against taking those incremental steps until we get to the big step. That's frustrating sometimes with like truer advocates that just want that big step now, like get the middleman out of the way. I don't want a facilitator. I don't want somebody to have to hold my hand or dose it out for me. I can do it myself. But I think there's also the balance with the decrim laws and the possession laws that say I can do that myself without necessarily going through those facilitators. So it's a long game. We're not against the incremental, but we do want the same things as most of the community wants, and just having these substances to be closer to fully legal than they are.
No, fair enough. I mean, that was an excellent answer for a chief communications officer.
Yeah,
right there. You dodged. I was hoping you'd step, but you didn't. But I get it. So, we were discussing before you got on, and I didn't know if you had heard that there is the question of MAPS being a national, if not a global organization. Kind of felt like, at least listening to Travis communicate, that a lot of the local talent that really were Denver-based, all their applications, and I'm just paraphrasing, were denied for speaking engagements. So just wondering if there in the future is a way to, it doesn't have to be Denver, but the cities that you're going to be holding MAPS conferences where there's like a liaison that would sort of come out early to really get the feel for what the local people have done in regards to, furthering legalization and get them involved just as a, for some goodwill.
Yes. We are all for taking in critique, judgment. Yes, that is something that we need to do. If you're coming to somebody's neighborhood, you need to know who's there. You know the OGs. So going forward, that is something that we can amend, and making sure that anywhere we go, we know who's there, whose footsteps we're walking into, to make sure that they're magnified as well when we bring the world to their cities.
Well, this is Travis Tyler Fluck.
Hi.
He's been coming on the show for 4 years?
5 maybe?
Five years.
Time goes on. Time goes fast.
for
again,
for a long time, and I wouldn't be ashamed to say I've learned everything I know from him, or at least he's pointed me, got me started. He's, in my eyes, he's truly brilliant when it comes to psychedelics, psilocybin, everything that can be done regarding cultivating, breeding, and the interaction and how we can grow ourselves as humans. If there's any way to put him on the guest list, if there's a speaker that drops out, I would make that plea. I'd give up my press pass for him if there wasn't room. So I'd love to figure out a way to get him involved and get you two talking, especially when you're in Denver next month.
Yes.
You should come down to the studio. You guys should interact. He embodies the spirit of what we're all trying to do here. And I'd really want to see him, participate.
That's an easy ask. So, Tyler, we're friends now. So reach out. We'll figure out somehow, some way. We'll at least smoke a joint when I'm there in Denver. And we'll definitely make something happen.
Could I, so I applied to speak. Is there any way that my application could be re-looked at?
I can look into that. I'm not sure exactly. I know there's like solidifying the schedule as we speak.
I do know that they responded at the deadline by telling me that they were like holding it in further consideration, and they were going to ask me some follow-up questions, and then that didn't occur, and they outright denied it. And then I was also going to be on a panel, because I do end-of-life mushroom work. That was going to be around that, and that got denied as well. And I thought that was an interesting denial, because that's a pretty like a very important topic, and I don't know if it's going to be discussed anywhere else in the conference.
Show him the Pulp Fiction photo. Come on.
Pull
throw
up
the photo up from pull the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Look at that, Kevin.
I got
Look at that.
sidetracked over here.
Cover of Westword logo here. So
It's working. Again, I will look into doing whatever I can do. I am a fan of The Advocate, so if even I got to sneak in the back door myself, we'll
Thanks.
get you into the show.
I really appreciate that. And
Yeah.
we can have a much more long form conversation, after the fact.
after Jack White.
After that.
White tickets, anything. I can do anything for Jack White tickets.
Where are you at right now?
I'm in sunny tropical Connecticut.
Wow.
I don't know if he's stopping in Connecticut, but
It's not usually on the
Not
main path.
many people do.
I was going to say.
do you follow him intently?
Yeah, since his White Stripe days. I've seen him in the White Stripes years ago at some festivals in college, but haven't seen him since. I went to Nashville to try to go to his Third Man studio and watch him, but he wasn't there the weekend I was there. So
Yeah, this latest album he just released one day. He just walked into the record store and he just gave out copies of it. And then he did this thing where he would just announce day of that he was playing somewhere, and tickets would basically sell out in minutes. He did that here in Denver. He played a club that he had played before he was even in the White Stripes. He just showed up that day and was like, yeah, I'm going to play here. And that's how he was doing it for a few months until he announced an official world tour. But
I'm remembering now he played Toad's Place in New Haven, Connecticut that same way.
Yeah.
In the last year, he just fell in.
Yeah.
And tickets, like you said, went like that and sold the place out.
yeah, everybody's like, when are you going to tour? He's like, this is the tour.
I am touring.
Yeah.
Right, that's awesome.
Be next to Rio Rockstar, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt your Jack White conversation, but
all right.
speaking about end of life therapy and the work you do, I would think that is something that MAPS could champion nationwide, if not globally, because it affects everyone, and it gives me hope because I listen to lots of different views on what that might be like, and I've listened to Travis. You know, he hasn't violated anybody's, privacy, but it's got to be some of the hardest work one could do, and with tremendous potential reward for the person that is on the other end who is facing an end of life situation.
Well, it affects systems. So when grandma gets a taste of grace, everybody around her does, except for people that don't think that grandma should have agency in deciding that she's going to do mushrooms. That's where things get complicated in my world. All of a sudden people step in and say, well, I didn't say she could do it. And I'm like, when did grandma lose the ability to make decisions for herself,
If it was my grandma, it was when she was 75 and diagnosed with dementia. And she lived with me for the last year of her life, and she was approaching 98. So she was not capable of that, but the times I did give her a couple of milligrams of chocolate, not with mushrooms, but with cannabis in it, she did call me David again. I was Morris, my grandfather, all the time. So there is something to be said about therapy that way that can really help somebody, and the people are, and I believe it.
It's part of the. It's probably one of the main reasons that cannabis got accepted is because it always affected somebody on a medical side that they never thought. Like it is usually like grandma or grandpa or whatever person. It's like it becomes real. Then all of a sudden it's like, wait, why are we even? Taking why is this illegal? And all of a sudden, if that happens, it changes everybody's world. And with mushrooms, it's even more intense because it's sometimes a one and done situation where it can completely alter everything. Whereas cannabis, obviously it's not like, usually it's like eye opening, but it's also becomes a maintenance program at that point.
We had Dr. Roland Griffin at the last conference in 2023, who had stage 4 cancer, and he's been doing the research on end of life care using psychedelics, and he interviewed hundreds of people who used psilocybin for their end of life care. And then he comes up in front of a room of like 1,000 people and just talks about how he's managing his end of life care, having had an experience himself, and just it was like a really beautiful moment. Like you said, it doesn't touch you until it touches you. But then it's like, why isn't everybody at least having access to this or having these conversations? Because it's a transition we're all going to go through. So be wise, prepare for it as best you can.
Yeah, and those kind of thoughts too, like when it's like that is a classic psychedelic thought, is like, why doesn't everybody, like not even about end of life, but just in general, it's that connection of like, why doesn't everybody do this? This is amazing, you know what I mean? And that happens to like, that's usually the ha-ha moment for everybody.
Well, you have to take
Yeah.
You have to really take a hard look at systemic oppression then as to why we don't have these things,
Yeah,
Okay,
what put the
tell
genie in
us.
the box?
Talk about that.
Well, I don't even know where to begin to crack that nut.
Well, you have.
All right. So I have been drawing a lot of parallels between zoo animals and kind of like humans and their anxiety and depression recently.
Yeah, because don't they have they have the condition?
Well, when you see a zoo animal and you
what
see
is
a
it called?
tiger pacing, you kind of appreciate on some level, I understand why the tiger isn't doing so well, because it knows that this isn't where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
And I see so many people coming into this space to treat anxiety and depression, and what they don't realize is that the anxiety and depression are actually like symptoms of much, much, much larger problems. And for the most part, people don't have to really, really look at that, really like philosophically, because they kind of take the polarized systems that we've been handed and like, this is the way it is, and these psychedelics, entheogens, whatever word you want to use it, kind of like open people up to the possibility that there is a lot more going on, right? And then when you have even just a taste that there is a lot more going on, it now makes you reevaluate the things, the structures that are in place. And in 1971, when Nixon and his cronies passed the Controlled Substance Act, it was, people that were rising up against the Vietnam War that were also using these, what they considered to be illicit substances. And in a political move, they made the substances illegal because they kind of like knew that it was contributing to people asking big questions like, why are we going over there to kill people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very, very good. See, there you go. Now we got. How much time you got? I know you're stressing. I don't want to hold you back.
A few minutes.
Okay, cool.
I have a few minutes.
There you go. We're good still.
So, look, Director of Communications for Maps, what would you, as a local, like to see included in future Maps events that would bring attention to local issues, as and how they relate to the big picture?
Well, we are basically a petri dish here in Colorado, and there are so many interesting iterations of how people are working in the truest sense of the law, in the gray area of the law, and kind of like in an outright kind of like creating ruse environments. But there are so many people doing such good things that I think that it's the storytelling and the data that comes out of these places where we are pioneering this stuff that really feeds all of these localities that are considering this. Like, what does it actually look like on the ground there? And I tend to stray away from conferences that are science and data driven, and tend to gravitate towards ones that are relationship driven. I tend to just feel like the medicine is more present there. So I would just ultimately like to see, all the good work that's being done on the ground here in Colorado be showcased in a way, if the world is paying attention and we have their attention, that it somehow is able to come through in that way. That answer your
I'd love to
question?
talk more offline about that because, that's something that a conference needs. Is like, it feels like you're talking about like a soul, like letting us know what is actually going on in the place that we're coming to,
Yeah.
and to show that to the people who are there can be more valuable in some ways than just hearing about the data coming out of the state of Colorado. Like, we should be hearing about the people who are the data that are that we're talking about.
I do these gifting events where I just show up and give away mushrooms with educational material, and
Maps can't do that.
well, I'm just saying, right? So like,
I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna just like talk about one woman. So a blind woman comes to me, and I gift her 2 grams. She eats 1 gram and sees images in her brain for the first time. You know, and this is like, I could tell you a billion stories like this. This is like from the gift, this is like anecdotal evidence. This is like people, when you remove criminality, people actually get genuinely curious about this stuff. And one of the problems with a lot of the studies is they're whitewashed. They're heavily profiled, and the data is not applicable to all people. But people have this sense that like, oh, it treats PTSD, and I have PTSD, so I'm a candidate for this. So we are actually confronting all of that stuff, the reality of the situation, and kind of like figuring out how it works in real world time, and without the barrier of entry of $3,500 for a treatment.
That's definitely true.
Yeah.
And it's part of the system that, we don't want the medicine to cost that much, but for it to be considered medicine in this Western model, it has to cost something. It has to go through FDA and all these kind of approvals that everybody has their hand in it, marks it up somehow.
Oh yeah. But I would
love for us to get like more stories out from the underground, from the practitioners, from folks who have that kind of on the ground anecdotal, like person to person connection that I think helps speak more to the power of these, more so than like a cold set of data that you might look at. So I see the value in it.
Yeah. But we're not even underground anymore. That's what's so cool about it. I can advertise or tell people that I'm going to be hanging out at this coffee shop and giving away mushrooms all day. And it's like, I talked to some high ups of the Department of Revenue about going around to farmers markets this summer and just setting up and just giving away microdoses with educational material. And it's completely like within the parameters of the law, which is just so amazing.
And to note that Colorado, the state has taken our first responders training, so that the first responders in the state are ready to handle folks who might have a difficult first time having some psychedelics. So
This
it's
is
also
really important that you mentioned this, because I ran into some police officers last week that asked me to come and teach the police force about mushrooms, because they felt that the training that they've received so far, which was they told me a 20-minute training video, was not going to cut it. So
ours is like at least 3 hours. And yeah, we're going to talk. So
Okay.
we'll make sure that you have our resources and vice versa, so that we can share best practices and everything, because there's no reason that police should be asking folks, hey, we need some help in training.
Well, rising tide raises all the ships, right? So, yeah, I would just love to be in an ecosystem of all this stuff, because, people ultimately could use resources. When you pass these widespread decrim laws and you don't instantly put education out there, you're just asking for black swan events, So
I thought that Colorado had something in there where they're supposed to have some kind of like public education.
No, the community has like created zines, and like I've gone out of my way to teach microdose classes. Like I've taught close to 1,000 people, and I just educate and educate and educate. And the state has not done anything. We don't even have a billboard in a key place that says "Go low, go slow." So it's really been on the backs of the community because we care so much to get this out there, and like with no resources other than what I contribute into the mix. So
Right.
I would
No, I
just
totally
love,
understand
visibility.
Well, it's also since you came from the whole cannabis advocate world and stuff. You see, there's so many parallels, right? It's like with CBD and kids and having seizures and being able to, like, within seconds, take care of it, but you can't call it a cure, and you got to be careful, and you have to use your right language, and you have to, and you saw how, like, and now it's just it's interesting to see, because we've kind of laid the ground, that laid the groundwork for make this a lot easier, but it's also harder to see the effects, because it's all private. It's not like people are out. It's not a public thing. So it's all behind some other thing. Whereas with cannabis, it's sometimes right in your face. You see a kid having a seizure, you give it to and it changes your whole changes the whole direction of everything. Because that's why we had so many refugees here in the early 2000s or 2000, mid 2000s or whatever, and it was nonstop families coming here to get their medicine.
Yeah, we have mushroom refugees here too now. It's wild.
Right? Yeah, it's exactly,
wild.
It's like, it's
Well, I think part of MAP's mission is to have like equity-based clinics, inclusion, low-income distribution. So maybe that's where you could be working with them to help them set up that infrastructure around those programs to make
that's
sure
where
they
my
get
passion
support.
lies. I see, I see the mushroom as a folk medicine, and if you consider all of the plant medicines out there, they usually generally require some form of alchemy, some form of human touch, some boiling, some burning, heating. The mushroom's one of the only ones that you can just pick and put in your mouth, and it does the thing,
Yeah, a lot easier to get to where you're going with mushrooms for sure.
Yeah, so I just feel like that's... Do you know who Sam Gandy is?
No.
He's Amanda Fielding's assistant, or at least he was. And he directed me to a bunch of literature around the Masatek community. And they really revered the mushroom as the medicine of the poor people. And that really just resonated with me. People that couldn't afford doctors could at least go to the mushroom. So yeah, that's where my passions lie, in just like removing barriers to entry into all this. Because, my story's not unique, and I just developed a relationship with the medicine. 25 years as a drug, and then through my intentional use really has, challenged my fundamental assumptions around what these things are and are not.
That's what you're like the proof that we need, like somebody that can like speak for the mushrooms, if you will. Like that's what we're looking for, is kind of putting out that message that it is a medicine of the poor, medicine of the people, and it shouldn't be necessarily gate kept the way it is.
The mushroom once told me, as long as cows poop, you guys are going to have mushrooms. This isn't a scarcity thing.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, and like there's this
No, but
there's
Bill Gates
this
gets
interesting
involved.
observation. If our spiritual growth and development is like kind of like the best application of like our life essence, and the mushroom helps in that pursuit, then it is literally one of the most valuable things, minus like food and water and safety and security, but it's so abundant it defies rarefication. So it's insanely precious, but at the same time defies rarefication, which is something we don't usually have in this world. It's usually rare, or it's abundant and commonplace.
This is kind of having me thinking. Have you seen the show Common Side Effects yet on Adult Swim?
Yep.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But yeah, just the commonality or the rarity of it makes it special.
Yeah. I can't wait for season 2.
Same.
I got about 2 minutes to hop off.
All right, look at that. Come on, Dave. Brilliant question. Last 2 minutes.
No, I'm glad. It's no question, just a statement of fact. I'm glad we had an opportunity, or the opportunity to give you a forum to speak, because I know this has been weighing on you, and hopefully this is now several steps forward to...
Yeah, I just want to represent Colorado, really, is all it comes down to.
I appreciate it.
I mean, you got your Telluride fucking mushroom shirt
I wore
on.
that for Dave. It's kind
Oh.
of got a Grateful Dead
I see.
kind of vibed for it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, right on, man. Well, thanks for
Appreciate-
coming on the show. Man.
Thank you,
We
Travis.
Travis is
always
always it's
appreciate
always an
your
honor.
insights on the psychedelic.
Have a good time tonight, I'm sure. You
Thanks.
will.
And then I'll connect with them to get your email, and then we'll start that conversation.
That's perfect.
But thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Good night.
And the cover model is out.
Send them off.
Yeah, if
with
you're
the
in
photo.
Denver-
Oh, yeah, I got to do the photo. Do the photo.
If you're in Denver, go get your copy of the Westword
And-
because Travis is in there
on the cover. Where is it?
on the cover.
Oh,
I'm coming,
there
man.
it
Hold on,
is.
down.
The cover shot.
Jeez. It's kind of
He's gonna
it's
get all
kind of
pushy.
Pulp Fiction Gandalf-y.
Oh, yeah, look at you with
With,
the
Gandalf-y.
with he's got the staff, or didgeridoo, or however you want to
kind of
look at it.
didgeridoo-ish, actually. I call those didgeridon'ts because I really don't. No.
You're not into it.
If they're good, yeah, but there's like you don't want a bad didgeridoo. I lived in Australia for a year. I heard a lot of bad ones too.
Yeah.
because
It's hard to do.
It's like there it is.
You need
I
that
told him to bring one.
cyclic breathing. Look at that. Oh, wow. Look at you guys all.
Did we lose Kevin?
No,
Okay.
No, I'm still here. Sorry. Wasn't sure if you guys still needed me.
So yeah, I was
of
wondering,
course, no.
what can you tell us about how do people get tickets? Are you still accepting any applications for any type of volunteers? How does it work?
Yep. Psychedelicscience.org. Psychedelicscience.org has everything: a workshop, schedule, speakers. We're no longer accepting any more applications for volunteers or speakers right now. We're kind of solidifying everything in the back end now to kind of roll it all out next month. But everything's at psychedelicscience.org.
That's awesome. So during my birthday too, birthday week.
Got it. Just wondering if
A little extra bonus that can always come around that time.
So what are maybe some of the highlights that people that are listening and planning on attending, what should they be
That you
looking
can
out for? What can you announce? Any, speakers that you didn't want to say anything, and now you want to just breaking news. We have a breaking news little thing we can
We
play.
can do that. We can do that.
No breaking news tonight. Well, I guess I can kind of
Hold on then. Mark, come on. Vinny, give us the the news thing, right?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, we don't have that, so go ahead.
Reggie Watts and Flying Lotus, if you guys are familiar with the musical acts, they'll be playing a show for us
Nice,
Tuesday.
dude. I like Flying Lotus.
Yeah, right? That should be a really good show.
Reggie Watts.
Otherwise, the show is going to be the biggest in psychedelics. We're expecting a lot of legislators, doctors, lawyers, practitioners, enthusiasts from all over the country, all over the world to come powwow with us in Colorado. So we're really excited about it.
Love it. What else? You got anything else?
I mean, we can go to our cannabis world because I know right away if he said he's going to smoke a joint with Travis, he's still puffing and but you're in Connecticut. That's like the worst place ever right now for
No, I will not let you do that to Connecticut.
Oh, it's getting better. It's
gone.
It's come back.
Well, tell us about it.
State.
Wasn't there a situation in the beginning where they had to like grind the weed up? I remember that was like a Connecticut
With
rule.
the seeds and stems.
I was like, wait a minute, you have to have it ground up?
Slander, all the slander. Nope, we can buy regular weed, popcorn weed, bud weed, however you want it.
Okay,
I mean, don't get me wrong, there's definitely shake, but yeah, you can grow it however you can get it. We're allowed to have 6 plants. It was legalized in 2021. I actually opened up a lifestyle brand called Connecticut, which is a cannabis enthusiast brand for people in Connecticut. So we're trying to have some state pride.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's what's left in New England now, or what's left? Is there any like
New Hampshire,
which is weird because that would have been the first state you would have thought live free or
right?
die. It's like, wait, you can not let people smoke weed there? Are you
no,
kidding?
they're just the first hypocrites.
Yeah, that was kind of always, and Vermont was kind of hard in the beginning. Like Vermont was a little bit weird in the beginning too, which was like strange because I was like they should be right, but then now they're cool as hell. So
Maine has some of the best East Coast.
If you're a grower on the East Coast, you are already in Maine or have been for a long time. I had a friend of mine who was like he always had the radar. He lived in Rhode Island and he was like, you gotta go up to Maine. That's the place. And I was like, and then it definitely happened. And then
Those woods, like they're growing some crazy stuff out there, and they have like these really great laws with like co-ops and stuff and caregiver laws, so where mom and pops and regular folks can get a lot of weed and give it away. And
Jesus, Dave, control your dog. It's like it's funny too if you look at like West Coast, East Coast. It's like Oregon and Maine are both like heavy hitters all the way around. Like most people and most people always thought Cali. You know what I mean? When they think of the West Coast and Cali, we got it creeped north every year until it was pretty much Southern Oregon was crushing NorCal at a certain point, just because.
Here,
more relaxed, and the weather and the weather changed too. It used to be completely different, so it also creeped up. But Maine being similar, which is like if you can grow weed in Maine outdoors, it's fucking pretty ballsy strain because that place is not nearly as nice as conditions as Southern Oregon, let's say. You know what I mean? But it's
Florida and Maine, you can grow it anywhere, right?
But people have pulled off there's some good strains up there. We have from us that Mob always worked. That was like the one, the MOB. Which is not what you think it means. It is, and it's funny like that. It was actually a guy's initials, and I freaked out.
Is that the mob boss guy?
No,
no.
Oh,
okay.
no.
All right, I was just wondering.
But in general,
Just
it was
curious.
like, Connecticut. Or sorry, Connecticut. Maine definitely had the most cool rules going on for sure on the East Coast. But it's interesting. I'm from New York originally, so is Dave, and when we were back there 2 years ago, I believe it was like. Whoa, dude, this is like weird. We're like walking down the street, smoking joints, just like we normally did, but we used to be really paranoid, and now it's like until.
But now there's smoke shops everywhere in New York.
I mean,
mouse game, but yeah, they're everywhere.
Right, and to me, the biggest problem, and I don't know what Connecticut's like, but Colorado is definitely not doing a good job at it at all. Is the social side of it has never really been kind of. Addressed in any kind of like realistic manner. It's like either they're super limiting, like you're not allowed to do this or you're not, and there's so many rules involved it's not even fun anymore. Like especially like where you have to buy the weed there, you can't bring your own. It's like, come on, that is the whole point of cannabis, is that we all bring our together and we all hang out, compare notes basically.
We don't have any consumption lounges yet here. We've had a couple people put their necks out and try it, and then the state comes and chops them off, and then it's kind of that cat and mouse game again. But as advocates, that's what you're looking forward to doing, is fighting that fight and trying to advocate for social use and places to go and be able to use cannabis.
And the crazy part about that is that should be the first step. You know what I mean? That should be where we don't have real tight rules, but we have these places where we know people are smoking, and guaranteed there's going to be no problems there. We already know that. It's not like it's not what they like. They have exactly. You compare it to a bunch of people getting drunk, and right at closing time, there's gonna guaranteed be one girl crying, one guy fighting. You know what I mean? It's usually it's like clockwork. You can pretty much set your watch to it. Whereas with cannabis, it wouldn't like. I've had a bunch of spots here in Denver. We came in 2011, opened up the first spot. and then had the second spot open a couple of years later. We just kind of, eventually kept outgrowing our area and whatever and moving on. But pretty much as long like you could see that because it hadn't really solidified until 2012 here, if you get the right cops in the right neighborhood, they know that you are the least of their problems. Like you're actually a benefit to them because you are helping out, keeping a bunch of people off the street. It's a win-win all around, and it's just that people don't get it. And you're like, if you understood the type of people that it's going to like help out, and plus the whole thing that we were talking about earlier about, just like socially. When you smoke cannabis, it's actually healing. When you're smoking by yourself on your couch, you're healing a little bit, but you're not nearly as if you were hanging out socially. Like at the bar with alcohol, which is poison, people who live at the bar and like at the end of the fucking thing and they're just talking, take him out of that bar for a week and he'll just go downhill so fast because even without alcohol, because they don't have that social connection, and that's what they kind of, keeps everybody rolling sometimes. And it's the only way to educate people too. It's like you're hanging out at a table and you're talking directly to somebody, you're rolling a joint, they're looking at you. What are you smoking? That's the first part of the question, and it just rolls from there. Alcohol is a little different, you're not sharing your drink, but the idea with cannabis is it's all about that. It's like, it's literally designed to connect with people,
In Amsterdam and Holland, they rolled back their rules about international folks being able to come there and partake.
It's not really true. It's only what it is on the border towns, because I lived there for 20 years, so I kind of saw that same same thing being said year after year, and people would call me up and be like, "Dude, they're closing all the shops." I'd be like, "What are you talking about?" And they'd be like, "I saw it on the news," and it's like. That's in like Maastricht. So basically, like if you're on the border, then what happens is these people would drive over the border, go to the shops, then drive back to the thing, come back a few times. So they have cops waiting at the border with binoculars, looking at people's license plates, seeing if you're like, why'd you cross back and forth 3 times in a day? And they would go to the shops on the Dutch side, take photos of their license plates and go back to the cops, tell them to look for these plates. It was that cat and mouse kind of bullshit. So what happened was on those places, they made it really tight because they didn't want to have that going on. Like Amsterdam, forget about it. It's never going to be like, it's never going to change. Certain cities,
I went there
it'll
2010.
always, oh, nice.
It was amazing.
That's when I left. That's right when I left. You came and I was out.
Well, it's kind of like Kansas, then Maastricht, right? Kansas,
yeah, exactly.
They sit at the border. Kansas looking for anybody with a Colorado license plate.
100%.
Definitely got grass. Pull them over. It
used to be like here. Any cars going west, we're checking for cash. Any cars coming east, checking for weed. You know what I mean? It was pretty much a standard operating procedure for all the cops, and especially in those states, Nebraska, Kansas. All those places are, that's their main mode of income for some of those cops.
So
that's what made it legalized, is because we were losing all our money to Massachusetts. We were going across the border, buying it from them, and driving it back here.
Yeah. It's always like that was the Amsterdam curse too. Is that we because we were the only place that was doing it at the time. It always was a problem for them on an international level, and they had to pretend that they were doing something about it, which then affected people like myself who are growing over there to support the coffee shops. So it was always illegal. Everything's illegal except for the selling of the product from the coffee shop, right? So the minute it's sold in the shop is like the tax money they can get. Hey, that's all they care about. But if you're bringing, like, you can't resupply your shop. You can't have more than like they've changed the rules to like about, I think it's like 300 grams or something, even less sometimes. So you have to have X amount in your place. If you run out, you got a kid who runs to the stash house, jumps on his scooter, drives across town, drives over to the spot, delivers it. And it's the same situation where if the cops want to, they can pretty much just go, well, the kid with the scooter that comes every 2 hours, it's probably the kid that we could just follow him back to the stash house. You know what I mean? They do that. And if they feel like they want it, so it's so tight and small and everybody knows what's going on. So it's a very corrupt kind of weird system where it's never legalized because they can't say that it's legal, but they have like one hand over one eye, vibe, but they have their hand out. They have one over their eye and one hand out, and it's like, just keep paying me and we're good. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy.
But along those lines, to bring it back to psychedelics, maybe this is where MAPS can really provide like that light at the end of the tunnel for communities, for us. Our complaint about cannabis legislation is it's always being written by somebody who doesn't smoke. It's always being written by somebody who doesn't partake. They don't understand the culture. They don't understand the industry. And if they don't understand those two, they get everything wrong. And they don't set up a vehicle for where the government feels good taxing whatever it is, and the people feel good for participating in it, and they feel like it was an even exchange.
Yeah.
Maybe MAPS can be the people who, I don't know, we have this thing. They give us a little sheet of paper with a tiny little black dot on it, and they have to give it to us on a big sheet of paper and tell us that's the proper dose for concentrates.
It's so small you can't even see it. You're like,
it's ridiculous. So I'm wondering, something I learned, and I don't know, I won't speak for Adam, but having Travis on and finding out that two mushrooms in substrate right next to each other, who almost look like they're attached to each other at the substrate level, can vary in psilocybin by 10x. And that how you should be ingesting psilocybin is grinding your entire sample together so that you can smooth the curve and equal out the dosing across all doses. When he told us that, it was like, woof, all those times back in college, eating mushrooms with people where you thought the one guy was the biggest lightweight in the world. Like, how did he get so fucked up? You all ate the same thing, but he had one of those 10x mushrooms, or the other way, you go, oh, this shit didn't work. I mean, it didn't fuck.
I've definitely been there. So
I'm wondering, there have to be many who don't understand how to ingest psychedelics, and maybe does MAPS have this like here's a beginner's guide to psychedelics at home,
So we do have a psychedelics fundamentals course 101. It's on our website that we kind of instruct people on the different substances, how to use them, common dosages, not necessarily like how to use them or like whatever, because there's fine lines that we have to work within our 501c3 to do. But we have a lot of folks who are fiscal sponsors of ours, our organizations we give grants to, who do a little bit more of on the ground, in person to person work, where we can kind of get those messages out a little bit better than we can as MAPS. But I totally see the value of it. Like your earlier guest was saying, Travis, was about microdosing. A lot of folks, we get a lot of questions about it, and there's not many resources out there on how to educate people on how to do it safely, responsibly. So it's being talked about. It's in the zeitgeist, so we need to give people that information that they're seeking.
Well, he certainly does walk the walk that he speaks, because he has been doing regular monthly seminars, and he's been, I mean, did he say a number? I think he did say a number and I missed it. But it's hundreds, if not thousands of people have come through his education courses and have been gifted microdoses. And I think one of the things they brought up in the past is a lot of people have such a misconception of microdose, in that some use the term subperceptible for a microdose, and I don't think that's the way it's really being used. I don't think it's wrong. I just don't think people are subperceptible.
You got to know what a dose is before you know what a microdose is, right? So you kind of got to know the deep end is before you're like, oh, wait, I need to go somewhere.
That's how you know how old somebody is, because if you say microdose to somebody who's our age, and they're not in the loop of what's going on, they're just like, their brain, like, you're like, what are you talking about? Because we just always
macro.
We always macro. We did beyond macrodose. We didn't even know like how, like, because especially nowadays, it's like a gram is already a big dose to us nowadays. Like, oh, that's a lot, you know what I mean? Whereas back in the day, it was like that was only a third of what we were doing. So.
I remember in college, I had to eat 3.5.
Had to be.
That was my going rate. And then one year, like, I ate a gram. I'm like, this is different. And that's when like strain names started coming out around mushrooms. It's like, whoa, it used to just be, here are some shrooms. Now it's like, this is this is that, this is that. I'm like,
Yeah,
You're seeing-
and then you see the difference in between them because there was a huge difference there too. Because we saw it happening here with every week was like another new penis envy hybrid.
Penis envy, penis envy, penis envy, penis envy, penis envy. Everybody was taking that, and you know who described it best? The bro.
Yeah.
He said, "I don't like the penis envy is like the sativa of mushrooms." And I realized, anytime I took any variation of penis envy, I'd have almost breathing issues. Like I was so it was so I don't take it. I always had to have my inhaler with me.
I'm usually against strain names with weed because I don't think they really describe much, and I think it's kind of bupkis at a point. But with shrooms, I think they're very good
all
at
my
like,
fault.
I don't need this one anymore. This one fucks up
Yeah,
this for me. Or
yeah, yeah.
One is, so I think that the mycologists are a little bit more in touch with what's going on with their plants than or their substances than some growers might be.
We've been, I would use the term blessed with having mycologists come into the studio with multitude of different varietals, and they all have a name, and I think they all have a different effect. There's something different about each one of them if you pay attention.
Yeah, the enigmas are the ones that are like blowing everybody away these days. Like, fuck.
So Mark is not speaking much right here, but
Even
out
though
of the three of us, he is the mycologist guy. He really has a
Bonnie's
a
doing all the
fun
work.
guy thumb, if you would say.
Yeah, Bonnie does it all.
Bonnie does it all. He just cleans
Yeah.
the fucking things out in between, right? That's your job.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I do.
It's not true. He does participate. He and
I know.
his
How many
beloved
contaminations you guys have in a row?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Adam's not the best at pumping up his friends, and making them
Well,
feel good.
I'll
It's
see
a hard-
myself
He
out.
feels the need to put them down.
No, it's
But Mark
one of those
does a
ones.
great
It is,
job.
it is hard to do consistently without, that's all you do.
Exactly.
Well, he
Contamination.
doesn't have a laminar flow hood
No.
or anything
Right,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like some of the people who might have just been on the show. And so it happens. But if the three of us had to put forth,
Oh no, dude, Mark's the man. What are you
we
talking
would be putting Mark forward. He's the guy. He is definitely the guy. Our studio is in Denver, not far from the convention center. 20-minute Uber. But we do our show every Friday. I know Maps is in town on that Friday. I don't know what the closing schedule is like, but on that Friday, if you're around, we'd love to have you in studio. As you see, we enjoy fine cannabis. Adam, I can say this because Adam's too humble, but he's been, in the scene since the late 80s in Amsterdam, and is probably you guys will have you'll have lots to talk about in regards to the breeding world. Have you ever smoked bubble gum?
I have not.
Oh no. Okay, strike one. How about sage and sour?
No, again, I'm not a strain guy, so I smoke the
Oh,
weed.
that's right. He does. You didn't like. The
He
name.
goes for the
Okay.
weed that says weed, man. This is
Yeah, I want
chronic.
the weed.
Have you ever heard
Chronic.
of Freak Show? Did you talk about that while I was walking, Pauline?
No.
Do you know about this strain? Is
Hard for you
worth
to
coming
see.
down.
Hard for you to see because of the green screen, but
Okay, I see it there.
it's got crazy leaves. It's one of those plants that if it was available in the 80s, we would have just all been loving it because you could grow it in front of your house and nobody would even notice what it is.
Right, there we go.
Let's see.
When I come and see you, I'm gonna get some stuff from you. We can grow in Connecticut, so I'd love to transplant some stuff.
Yeah, you should for sure. And that is the key to if everybody's allowed to grow. You said 6 plants, and that's in 6 flowering plants, or is it like 3 and 3, or how do they word that?
Three per adult, I think up to 3 adults, so you can get like 18 plants if you
Oh,
have some.
See, that's even better than
Stacking.
Boulder.
That's better than here.
Yeah.
Can you stack them?
Can't do that here.
There's no stacking around here. They used to it's funny because there's such a different variables within all the different states, and the growing we had a rule here at one point. What was it? How many plants and how
3
much?
and 3. 3 flowering.
No, but it was how much weight. Remember how ridiculous it was? It was like you could have
3 plants, 2 ounces.
3 plants, but you were only allowed 2 ounces. I was like, well, that doesn't even make sense. Like, how what are we growing here? Like,
Bad weed.
you
Shitty
cannot,
weed.
basically, you can't grow weed that grows weed. You have to grow weed that just grows stems
Yeah, that's enough for the state.
and no flower.
Yeah. Well, but But now, right, we're about to have we have dispensaries right now that claim they have tested weed above 30% THC, which is just fucking ridiculous. And I'm wondering, from the medicinal side of cannabis, no one wants this to happen. We don't need people shooting for this stupid number that is just one factor in a multitude that makes up overall potency. Same thing I think is going to be with psychedelics too. Eventually, when they become really mainstream, everyone's going to be like, my strain produces, 47 times the psilocybin as your strain, man. And I don't
feel like after a while the novelty will wear off. I'm not sure how many years that will take, but like you can buy Bacardi once.
It's kind of perpetual novelty if you think
forever.
I think it's perpetual novelty. So same with cannabis.
What I've noticed with people who eat mushrooms
21-year-old
regularly is that they like the high-powered mushrooms because they don't have to eat as much, and they can, and at that point they can kind of dose them out a little easier than just
same with
grab a handle.
We're the same with same as doing dabs compared to smoking joints.
Exactly.
Either maintenance all day or maybe take a quick dab and you get right to the point.
Because if they do
there's no question.
A handful of golden teachers as opposed to a stem of Yeti or something like that. You know what I mean? It's going to be.
Oh yeah, it's like, and to be quite honest, especially when it comes to like the classic most people with mushrooms, it's like they like we were talking about earlier, they did 3.5 grams of some mushrooms that had some little spongy, funky kind of things, and they ate them straight. They ate a lot of the fruit. Their stomach got upset. They're like, that's all they remember. They yawned a lot. They didn't really like. It's like there's all those little things that happen that now
we there with
and exactly, but nowadays it's like, clean product. Sometimes it's extracted, sometimes it's, there's all different options, and also the potency is so high that you're only eating such a small amount that you don't have that. It's not going to affect you as much.
Speaking of extracted, I won't mention his name, but I'll give a shout out to a person who stopped in with some gummies last week.
Good God, man.
Damn.
Yeah, those things.
Damn, you know who you are.
Well, I learned the skinny. They were made with aborts.
Fucking job.
They're made with like the little tiny aborts that don't grow into full mushrooms.
Oh, that's the best
and
ones.
And those have, they have the same amount.
The little ones?
Yeah, they have the same amount of medicine that, a big mushroom does, but just in the little guy, because it never got to full.
If he's listening, I'm hoping he brought a few more of those this week. I'm just saying. If he happens to be listening, I'm saying.
Okay.
But fuck yeah.
I think that's another thing we learned off Travis too, right? About the size of the mushrooms.
Yes. That was right. Everyone went with penis envy, and they went with this effect that
bigger is better.
Bigger is better. But we had these mushrooms 5 years ago, grown by a friend of ours.
When we first started the Bar Terp Towns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The teensy ones, and they have never
I'm
come
telling you,
around
dude,
again.
those were the potato chips.
Yeah.
Those are the albino
I
Louisiana.
love them.
Oh, the Louisiana potato chips. Those are the
They're
ones.
the same ones, dude. He doesn't think they were, but they were.
Kevin is smiling. I think he's had an experience.
I'm like looking forward to hanging out with you guys when I'm coming out there.
Well, we had this bowl. They didn't even look like mushrooms, and it was bad for them to be in our, because you would just eat them like they
tasted
chips.
It tasted good. It was we were like, these are good.
And we violated every rule.
And their colors were really nice because they were like real light.
White,
they were white, so it's like white, crunchy, and good.
Tasty.
And you're like, this is like a potato chip. It's like, it's dangerous.
I think it was a topic of conversation where we were like, well, this is the situation where one of those might be that 10X one. And we're like, okay, surprise, surprise. Here we go.
Mushroom roulette.
Mushroom roulette. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But these gummies are something else. I mean, and sometimes you say to yourself, I always
Self. You got to start with self. Self. There you go.
I'm going to eat some mushrooms, so I probably should do it on an empty stomach, right? That's really what you want to be saying, when you're starting your experience so you can titrate properly. Or you could do like Dave, after having a nice dinner, going, oh, fuck, I have those mushrooms. All right, you know what? I can take it now. It probably won't hit as hard because I have something in my stomach and everything will be fine.
You ate a lemon. You ate a giant lemon.
And I ate one, and I was playing in an online poker tournament, and maybe it was like 90 minutes later, and I'm going, Oh yeah, I did. And because he always reminds me, the best experience is when you forget you took the substance. And I had completely forgotten that I took it, and it was great. So if he's listening, or she, or whoever that person was, great job.
Hey.
Great hair. Great job.
We were our guest Kevin has great hair. Somebody might be inferring that you were speaking of him, but we're not.
Of course it was.
He's in Connecticut, and we're in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions from the chat?
No, they're just telling me that aborts don't have 100% of the.
Okay.
But okay, yeah, I get it. I know. I had 5 seconds to explain to you what was going on.
Yeah,
so,
give us 5 seconds and we can barely explain it. But, okay, so it's 85% of what could have been in there, but it's still a lot smaller. So
yes,
we have.
But isn't it by volume? Wouldn't it go by volume at that point? I mean,
I don't know. This person's saying the longer they grow, the more they build up.
Oh, is he chatting?
Oh.
Is he typing
No,
that? Then
no.
it's definitely correct. Whatever he says.
No,
if he's
that's
typing
not,
it,
it's not. Nope.
Yeah, it must be 100%. Whatever
Not
he
him.
says. It wasn't him.
No.
Was it Date? Was it Leal?
we're not. Don't dox our chat.
Yeah, what are you
Come on
doing,
now,
dude?
Get out of
What
here.
do we- don't. Oh, see,
See,
I
you forgot.
What is that again?
Every week, Dave learns something. He
Yeah,
just learned
Dave.
about doxing.
Tell
I
me
thought-
about docs. You told me again what it was. It's when you talk about something
You
publicly
basically
about
narc
someone's
somebody
personal
out.
information.
Yes, you're narking somebody out.
Like when you tell
I'm
everyone
learning.
my email address.
Yes.
Your
Why would
email
we-
is not face-to-face at gmail.com.
Dude, we started off with boofing. He started off. He didn't even know what boofing
He didn't
was.
know what boofing was. He
had to-
learned
we had
on
to-
the show.
We had to explain boofing.
We gotta
We've had
find
to-
that clip.
We've got a lot of explaining to do on the show, pretty much for Dave, right?
Yeah.
Is it entertaining?
Very.
Okay, then it's a fair trade.
There we go.
Fair trade. Anything else you want to educate me on? No?
No.
Nah.
Some really bad words that I do know?
Not on it.
Okay. So anything you want to plug? Anything else about maps? Forum is yours. We've taken more of your time than we said we would.
No, this was, man, I'm only putting off my wife and kids. This is great. Come out to Psychedelic Science.
Oh, is that all?
You sound like Mark.
come on.
Psychedelic Science is the 16th through the 20th in June in Denver. Come on out to the convention center and hang out. And I would love to see you guys there. And like I said, we extend an invite.
And I'm assuming there's like the same like last time where everyone can go to Meow Wolf and it's like kind of like.
Oh, so a friend of
Oh, there you
ours is Vince Cadlebeck, and
Okay.
he is the founder of Meow Wolf. He is
that's a good friend to
speaking.
have.
He's speaking at MAPS. I spoke to him last week. He's going to come by the studio that Friday. Then we're probably going to all go to Meow Wolf afterwards. So, love for you to stop by.
Hey, now we know how to get
And-
him over here. See that?
You know,
Power.
You had me at the weed and then the owl. Like I went for the first time last time in Denver, and wow, that was everything I want to do
And they have a
all
whole
over
bunch of
again.
new stuff going on.
yeah,
It
I
changes
think
a lot.
out of the three I've been to, Santa Fe, Vegas, and Denver, I will put Santa Fe and Denver equal on the top, well above. I wasn't too into the whole.
Well, Vegas is
commercial
already
Vegas
half
thing.
Meow Wolf anyway. You know what I mean? It's like you walk, like this ain't so weird, dude. Did you go? I was just.
There's a New York one coming out soon.
And Texas. We
yeah,
heard
Texas,
too.
Austin.
Yeah,
or-
something.
near-
No, I think it was Dallas.
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh, Dallas.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right,
I
Dallas.
think it's
Yeah,
Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool how it's expanding. But yeah, definitely the one here is like the most like Space Mountain or something. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, this is purpose built to like when I was a kid, that was the thing. Oh my God, it's amazing. But that was where, and then the Santa Fe one has got the most creative. Like that's where it started, and that's the like what? It's a bowling alley? No, it's a house. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
You're already confused out of the gate, but it's like it's the whole experience. And then Vegas, like I said, it's kind of like it's too normal for Vegas, almost like whatever.
Not a
Not weird
surprise.
for Vegas.
Yeah, commercial.
I mean, the best part is the beginning.
Yeah.
The supermarket is the best part. Everything else besides that, you're like,
Well, everything leads back to the supermarket.
and then you're like, oh, we're back to the supermarket because that's the coolest part, and that's where it really pulls.
Oh,
me.
don't tell anybody.
Oh,
There are
don't-
people who
oh.
might spend tickets and just stay in the supermarket.
They're like,
and
oh, I
not
didn't even know there was another room. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, you never did.
other rooms.
I'm gonna have to go around with you guys because it seems like you guys know the lay of the land. I was not in my right mind to make sense of it last time. I just knew I liked it.
Absolute perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All the hidden doors.
As you should be. Oh well, we'll let Vince lead the way for something like that.
He knows where all the secrets are at. Can you imagine him going with him somewhere? Because he
Probably.
knows how to get through those doors you can't go through.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
like, oh, let me beep boop boop boop.
Well,
And then you're like,
we went inside with him that first night,
I know,
but it was
fucking like behind the walls. You know, there's shit going on.
yeah. So we interviewed Vince for the first time in a mobile Adam Dunn Show studio in the parking lot of Meow Wolf
On opening night.
On opening night, and. You know, I'll just speak for Adam and I. We ate mushrooms. I'm not going to say anything that Vince did or did not do, but then we all went into Meow Wolf together, and wasn't Itch.io there?
Yeah, Itch.io was playing.
So you should look these guys up. It's called Itch.io, and they crushed the psychedelic experience.
Yeah.
At Meow Wolf.
Uncut Bush is saying that when we went to Meow Wolf with Dave, people thought he was part of the cast employees.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah.
And Ross and Dog says that Dave likes Broadway shows.
How did you know?
Can't keep dancing.
I've been seeing shows on Broadway since the 70s.
Sondheim kind of guy.
That it doesn't mean I sing out loud or anything like that. But
I doubt this.
Sometimes you see cats.
To each his own. A whole bunch of times.
Cats is so weird, dude.
It's so much
I
better
laughed,
in
I
New
cried.
York.
I laughed. I cried.
The
It was better than
movie,
Cats.
I don't even think I even watched. I think my family saw it and said, you can't watch it.
No, you can't watch that.
Because you said you liked Cats, the play, and the movie, they said it was horrible.
Did you ever see the John Kennedy one when he does that? It's fucking awesome, dude.
I feel like I have.
You have. I know you have.
I'm sure I
It's
have.
an old SCTV skit, I think.
Oh, I love SCTV, dude.
That was
I
the
used to watch that
best.
show all the
That
time.
This
was
is
the best.
classic for us, just so you understand.
Sorry, we're doing
Kevin.
Boomer
We
Talk
just-
now. It's Boomer Talk on the Adam Dunn Show.
Yeah.
Remember
As a
that shit?
millennial, I kind of get it, but I'll just smile and nod.
You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, I don't.
We're old. Did you know here in Boulder is the house they used as the facade for the hit series TV show Mork and Mindy?
In Boulder.
I did not. But I
Yeah, in
love
Boulder.
it.
Took place in Boulder, right?
That was the whole point.
Yeah. Well,
And
it
then-
took place in Hollywood, but they just took pictures of a real house in Boulder.
Yeah, of
and
course
that
they didn't film it in
happened to be.
Of course, it didn't film in Boulder, Dave.
Boulder. Come on.
Oh, you know what? I was just thinking. Mark refrained from putting the poker photo up of me the whole time because I made him feel bad earlier. But maybe we have a psychedelic poker tournament. Where everybody eats mushrooms and then we play poker.
I don't want to sit at a table play cards when I'm eating mushrooms.
That's a rough one because
I'm
then you're
sorry.
like trapped. That's like sometimes when you do, sometimes
can't
at a
do it
show,
sober.
even sometimes at a show when you're like realize you're not getting out of that fucking zone you're in because everybody's like everyone sits down and you're like, oh, all of a sudden, I want to get up, but you start looking down that aisle, you're like, fuck it, I'm not going to deal with 45 people I have to pass tripping balls right now. I'll just stay right here.
Make sure you let me know of any cool like off-site things you guys got going on for like local bring some maps and go hang out.
And
Two
so-
things:
so you
Red
get-
Rocks and Viper Pit Barbecue.
Yeah,
that's all you need
we
to know.
got you. And they're within 18 minutes of each other, so that's perfect. All right.
That's right.
What day do you get into town?
I'm in town Sunday before the conference.
dude,
So I'll be there.
it's on my birthday. He's arriving on my birthday. So give
Wow.
me a heads up for my birthday on Sunday. We'll see what we're doing. Maybe we'll be already at the barbecue hanging out here because
Sounds good.
Yeah.
that's the 15th.
Kevin, thanks so much for your time. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank Christina for us for arranging this. She was a pleasure to work with.
Awesome. I will do. Thank you both.
Anything you guys need while you're in town, please hit us up, okay?
You're the call I'll make.
Yeah.
Sounds good,
Peace.
man. Nice one, Kevin.
Well, have
Thank
a good
you.
weekend.
Let's see how old he is. How fast does he get off?
Oh, he's gonna be quick.
Yep, gone.
He's a
Wow.
youngin. What a youngin.
What a babe.
Nice, dude.
Little baby.
That was quick.
Yeah, usually it's at least a second or two longer than that.
I think his
Speaking
finger is
of
hovering
which-
over the button.
Mr. X in the house.
Oh, look at you.
I announce it every time now.
Oh.
I just don't show him.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was trying to make on Grok. I was like, I took the photo that I have, which is not allowed to show him of him, and I asked Grok to put a big X on his head, just because I was too lazy to do it myself, and it changed him completely into some other guy, and it had an X. I was like, what is going on here, dude? I just said put an X on it. Don't change the guy's face entirely, but I had the same shirt on.
Oh, did you see my AI awesomeness?
Oh yeah, pull it up.
No,
I will.
Come on now.
Wait, do you
everyone's
remember
going AI
if
now.
we're gonna go-
Even Dave's doing it.
If we're going to go full boomer,
Are we?
what was the character that used to appear? The unknown comic.
Oh yeah. I know.
So
I know him.
put a bag
He's not
on his
unknown.
head.
Oh,
Put a bag. No one would be able to tell by his physique.
like this. You
Oh,
got to do a lot of that. That's the
whoa.
Unknown Comics move. It was always this. Yeah, a lot of that.
Who would be?
mean-
Mark could do a good Jamie Farr. How are you in heels?
He could pull it up. He could pull it off.
Oh my!
We don't have a
gosh.
J.P. Morgan, and we don't have. So the thing is, I told you I'm a Gong Show expert. That was my life.
Was he a spy? Did he kill
Oh
people?
no, that was all bullshit.
Oh.
We used to own his car. We had his old car. He had
shit.
his Volkswagen. Yeah, dude.
Let's see it, Mark.
There it is, right there.
Notice Mark handed Mr. X a lighter without giving him any shit.
Yeah, no.
Without saying it's my last one. Whose lighter is it?
Because he gives them back.
Just because he's
Yeah, I
always
was going to
gives
say,
it
because he
back.
gives it right back.
He's giving it right back.
Yeah, whatever.
It's all about the give back. Okay, so this is a beautiful
Yeah.
job. I was impressed.
Yeah. Because David Ellman,
And then what did I say?
what did you say? Oh, you don't even know who he is.
Well, first of all, I didn't know who he was. And then I said, well, why don't you make one of Dave
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
have it say what? No,
Hold on.
and like, yes, me worry. What did I say? I said something. No,
Oh, there we go.
I had a better one.
What me worry?
Yeah, because it's not. You definitely would be worrying. So you're the.
Yeah, where was that? He did something, but it wasn't.
You lost
It was bad. No, mine. I
Yeah,
just
his
sent it to
wasn't
you. It
good.
didn't even look like me.
Yeah, his wasn't
It
good.
looked exactly like you. What are you talking?
That is pretty much exactly like you, though, dude. I mean, come on.
Come on.
But
now.
that was funny how it did that
Yeah.
with me just saying, all I said to ChatGPT is that you had just sent that one, and I said, make a Mad TV image just like the one Mark just sent to me. Okay, I think that's what I
Way
said.
too many words. Way too many words.
That's what I just said.
Well, that's how they triangulated who you were.
They were like, this
They're
is
like
how
Mark
about
and
this?
Dave?
And they were like, how about that? And they were all like, dude,
podcast?
it's pretty fucking on point.
I think ChatGPT, from whatever you ask it from the previous question, it's like in its forebrain almost. Because I said, I wanted it to say what it had on me.
Yeah.
So I said, what do you know about Dave Charnick? And it said there are two notable Dave Charnicks. And it was me
Yeah,
and
the guy
one.
in Europe.
Yeah, the guy that does Charno Walks, the tour in London.
Yeah, just
You know, So I said, okay.
I don't know.
And I said, use the first one, because I didn't want to have any of the British guys in there. And it did all that. I didn't say, put me in an Adam Dunn Show T-shirt or say,
No
media
way.
personality.
No, come on.
No,
Come on.
fuck. You can look at it. I can show you the fucking.
It
what
pulled
I-
up Adam Dunn show
It did
shit?
all of that.
What the fuck?
From the previous question, because it has that about me.
That's crazy.
I thought you gave it a photo and
Did you just
No.
edit?
Yeah, that's
Did you get the
baloney.
Did you get the active one though? The one that works? The GIF? He
No.
didn't send that to
No,
you.
he didn't send that to me.
No,
Hold
I just.
on. I'll find it.
I still love the one that
Yeah,
he
we need the
posted of
intro
me
song.
describing him.
He had it all. He even overdubbed it and everything.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was so
That's good.
great. It was so great.
Now we're talking.
Play it. I didn't see
I gotta
it.
find it. Hold
He's
on.
finding it.
Hold
Dave.
on, Dave.
Jeez.
Calm the
Hurry
fuck-
up.
Calm your fucking.
Wait. Right now. You must do it now.
Dude, our show was so professional up until now.
Look
Now-
how
yeah.
I know. It's like, oh
ruining-
god, thank God the guests are gone.
Yeah, woo, everyone's we can just go back to the Adam Dunn show that we all know. Big mess.
So let me ask you this question: You're adults who drive here in Colorado. What has happened? This is, I mean, maybe it's more evident right now, but recent, where you signal you're going to move over, and the person who's 10 car lengths behind, who wouldn't have to change their speed at all, was just driving along, suddenly floors it and speeds up like you were asking permission to move into that lane. Are you seeing this, or is it just me because I use my signal?
I don't.
I just think no one knows how to merge properly.
Dude, this guy today on the way in, I was so classic too. I put the blinker on. I see a space. I pull in, and the guy gives me one of those like, "Hey,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
fucking it."
It was me. I own that space, fucker.
He gives me one of these while I'm driving. Like, gives a big fuck you, buddy.
We're
Then
dri-
I give him a double fuck you. I gave him a triple fuck you as he pulled up next to me. I was like, fuck off, buddy. I was like, get the fuck out of here with you. Don't you ever. And I had my blinker on. It wasn't like I looked down and like, did I not put my blinker on? Am I an asshole?
That's what I mean. No,
And
they
then I
don't.
looked.
They interpret your blinker
Yeah.
as a question asking their permission.
It's a
to
criticize
get
First
into the
America,
lane.
dude. What do you expect?
Whatever. I was like,
Come on
get
now.
the fuck out of here with that shit, with that bullshit. No, it was crazy. Anyway.
We're all on ChatGPT right now, says the chat.
Did you get the point? I just sent it to you.
What? You sent what?
I
What
did.
you send to me?
Tony Baloney's art fucking.
Oh, that's right. He's the one who did it. He's cool.
No, he did not. There's a new one. There's a first one.
I didn't send. I don't have it. Where's it at?
What?
Where'd you send it to
Just
me?
sent
at?
it.
Where's it at? I don't have it. It's not here.
It's
Where's
on
it
the
at?
ADS drop zone, dude. Come on now. It's there. I
Oh, in Instagram, like
no,
not what we
it's from
used during the
Instagram.
show and
It's
stuff.
From yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, let me look
ADS
on a
drop
whole
zone.
nother platform.
No, from Instagram into your drop zone. Come on, just go. Jamie,
What are you
pull it up, please.
talking about?
I
Dude?
listen to them. The guests are yelling at Jamie, and
No.
he's doing it.
You're talking about. Oh,
He's been
jeez.
shitty. He's been shitty, but he's been actually. I was like, he actually does do a lot of pulling up.
Okay,
I like
good. Good
You
for
see it?
him.
You don't see
He's
this?
not even shitty Jamie.
I have
was
it.
just
There it
right here.
is.
There it is.
He's got the sound. There it is.
The Adam Dunn Show. Adam Dunn Show. The Adam Dunn Show.
It's like the kid did a commercial or something.
I was like, it's epic. I go, it's like,
Adam Dunn Show. The Adam Dunn Show.
perfect.
The Adam Dunn Show.
That's
What's
good.
what's the thing
I
on
like
our
it.
heads?
Those are third
The
eyes.
Adam Dunn Show.
Okay.
Boom.
But
Nailed it. Nailed it.
my only
Nailed
question
it,
is,
Tony.
why did we pick?
Tony.
Why did we pick the bearded?
I know.
Adam?
Because I look like a tree trunk. It's perfect. That's my tree trunk photo. Yeah.
Oh,
I look,
No,
like, I look like I was
kinda look
carved
like
out
it,
of a
yeah.
tree.
Okay.
Actually, I don't. I think
That
if
is the
we had
coolest.
to-
That's like the fishing one. That's when I did the fishing. I think
Alright.
that was a fishing shot.
It's how Tony sees you.
I know, and that's how a lot of people. I like the what was it 2 shows ago where the guy's like, I was listening for how long and he didn't realize he could hear my voice but he couldn't see me.
We put some more hashes.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
that's right. Yeah.
I was invisible.
Yep. They're like.
I was sitting right in front of him, but it was invisible because he was
I
like,
kept
"Who the fuck is
hearing
talking?"
Adam's voice, but I never saw it.
Oh, come on. Hold on a second. I'm sure Mr. X can attest.
really into
when you
Joe
shaved your beard,
Rogan.
you used to love walking up to people you knew
Yeah.
and sticking your face right in
Oh,
there
right up in
just
there.
to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To be like, who's this fucking guy about to kiss me? You know?
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck
You
outta
stuck your
here.
face in there. I was like, oh, I'm going to punch this. Get out of here.
It's not Kermit the Frog. It's Adam Dunn.
It's Adam Dunn without a fucking beard.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it? Like,
Duh.
maybe.
Anyway, thank you, Tony Baloney, for that
Yeah.
incredible artwork.
That was great, Tony.
We really
Malone.
appreciate it.
Tony.
Tony. That's what you
Tony.
get on this show if you contribute some awesome.
So treat her right, treat her right.
Mr. T, dude.
Mr. T.
Yeah,
Holy
bro.
Shit.
I like
Do
it.
you have the video that Tony made when I describe him? Have we ever played that on the show?
No, I don't know. what
You're making
talking
it
about.
really work. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Remember
Dave.
when you and I were sitting in New
I know.
York?
Oh, you're gonna make him go back into the shows? and look for
No,
it? No.
Tony made a video clip. No? Okay, whatever,
I'm
Mark.
looking-
What,
I'm
you
gonna
want me
look-
to look for something?
I'm gonna look back. I'm gonna see.
What do you want me
if
to
I
look
can find
for?
out what he's talking about.
Tony, send it. I
Tony,
got it. Hold on,
Tony.
I'll send
I
it
see
right to you.
now.
I don't know. Maybe I could look at my messages. He maybe sent it to me or something.
Hold on.
Oh no,
something.
here, this one. I think I got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Are you sending it?
I'm sending it right now.
Are you going to send it on some other weird platform, or is it going to be in
It's
WhatsApp?
gonna come
or- okay.
exactly where the last one came from.
Oh, so let me open that back up. All right, great. This is great. Now we're solely communicating through Instagram. This is awesome.
Hey,
cool.
you know, they gotta get everybody involved.
Okay, great. Okay.
Boom, got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it. Modern technology.
Yep.
Producing shows.
Producing.
Producing.
There it
This
is.
guy, so if you guys, I'm gonna just describe to you. He's 6'6", 265. No beard. He is fucking ripped. Holy shit! I am telling you, fucking ripped, clean shaven. Amazing. Flowing hair. Adonis like, really.
That's when I had that corner graphic.
God.
That's a long time ago.
So But I couldn't fucking
Anyway,
hear
that
you.
was just-
This was when we went to save Rosendog's facility.
I remember.
No, it's not
When-
Rosin Dogs. It's Rosin Dogs.
Rosendog's
Yeah, come on.
facility
Get it-
when
get it correct.
he was destitute and he
Yes.
needed help
Now
from
he thinks
Adam and I.
know. Now he just thinks that was AJ.
And he rolls hash joints with AJ and hasn't sent Adam a nickel.
I know, and all the money.
I think we raised like $50,000 for him that weekend. All the
and
inventory
he
he
sold
moved.
thousands of those fucking wraps.
Thousands.
And he thousands,
Thousands,
yeah,
dude.
just last week.
And you know what he
even send
said?
me one.
He said checks in the mail.
Yeah, the classic
Yeah, dude.
last line. Classic.
Absolutely.
Haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
No, that's a good line.
But we did have, his very much younger wife on the phone, on the call with him that time. It's like a 30-year difference, right? Is that what it is?
Every time we say it, it's more, but I don't. Yeah, it's something. There's
a
a
35-year difference.
There's a difference for sure.
I'm here for the International Wook Convention.
Damn, Vinny's just ripping on us.
Yeah, he's in. I think I
because he missed all the good ones earlier that we were like throwing at him.
I couldn't do it to him.
I took all the.
couldn't do it to him.
What?
He just made the cover of Westword. I didn't want to go off on
Yeah,
it.
dude.
We
come
wanted
on,
a
man.
drum roll, didn't we? That's all we were asking for, wasn't it? We got nothing.
Mark got the drum rolls on.
No, all I have is this.
The fuck out of my face.
That's the only
not
button
gonna
I
work.
got. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not gonna work.
I got a.
That's for Dave only, really. Isn't it? To Dave
I
only.
got a note from
There's
a
another one
friend.
about-
They had a great time, and they said the barbecue was absolutely on point. I'm like, you try whatever you
We were all
want.
waiting for you, Dave.
Weird.
We were like, "Where's Dave?" And we're
No,
like,
you weren't.
yeah, we were totally waiting. We were
No, you
like
weren't.
convinced you were going to actually come.
No, I tried. Let's say there was a part of me that really wanted to go, but that part of me didn't control the person who operated the vehicle.
Hi, party.
That was a different part of me, and that part of me couldn't get there.
I understand.
Yeah, Mark wasn't there.
I was there.
He was DJing.
I was DJing.
Yeah,
I just put the setup on Suburban House Radio.
I shared it.
Thank you.
And then
guests.
another friend who stops by here all the time, who likes to drive,
got sentient and got really into elk meat. Joe Rogan.
likes to drive really old cars that go up and down.
Yeah.
You know that friend?
Yeah.
As soon as I posted it, he's like, where were you? I didn't see you there. So,
So
it's
here's
okay.
here's some AI that this is when I was trying to do Mr. X, but he turned it to somebody else.
Was
so
Mr. X
So I'm
there?
allowed to put it up there because it's not Mr. X. But
The
he's wearing
chat.
Mr. X's shirt. This is the funny part. It's the same shirt he's wearing right now. So it makes it even more crazy because he's obviously only has one shirt. That's what we've just noticed now. So here you go. Here you go, guy. Now this is him and the
that's
jug
fucking
dealer.
crazy.
This is him and the jug dealer that came to our.
They're going to be able to use reverse image deletion and take the X
Oh,
out.
I know they're already good. Well, it doesn't matter though. It's a different person's face, dude. They did not put his face.
No, I think
it looks like Alec Baldwin and now. He's become Alec Baldwin. Which
The
is
chat
weird.
says, this is like when my grandfather first saw Nintendo, how we're talking about AI.
But look at
Who
this.
said that?
Look at this.
That's funny.
Look at this. It changed
Organic
the people.
farming.
It's the jug dealer, right?
No, that's really his face.
And it's Mr. X. Take a look.
Yeah, that's really Mr. X's face.
Mr. X and the jug dealer. And that's what AI came back with
Yeah.
when I said, turn this guy into a pimp.
They're going to be
and
able to
put
find
an X
him.
on that guy's face.
No.
It's not. It's your shirt, but it's not your face anymore, right? And that is you actually. And look, you got a cane. Or you have a cane in your hand.
The fake Mr. X has way more hair.
I know, isn't that weird? You became old with a cane.
Okay.
Yeah.
But are those your glasses?
I'm not seeing it. So
Were you wearing glasses?
You're not seeing it?
Were you not seeing what?
Mr. X?
No, you see the guy with the
He's
X
the
on his
guy
face?
in the blue
He has an
shirt.
X on his face.
Yeah, that
Alright.
was okay. I can't show the original photo because
Vinny,
that would
did you-
expose Mr. X to the world, so I can't do that.
Vinny, you missed the intro when
Okay.
Adam said he used AI.
How many fingers
That's
does he
weird.
have? Count his fingers.
It's like
the
a
other guy's
weird.
hands. Look at the hands on the top. Dude, you got to always go for the hands.
I box, yeah.
And that's supposed to be Gabe up there. That's the
Oh,
funny part.
that's closer to Gabe.
And it's not Gabe. So basically, it changed both people. I was like, well, that's not really what I asked you to do. I asked you just to add this, and that was weird. It's weird, man. But I do have another one. Hold on, let me see.
Dave said they said that you can tell a AI picture of Dave because there would be booger on the joint.
That would be not AI, actually. That would be the way it's real.
No booger on the joint.
Yeah, that's real.
No, if there's a
AI
booger
as
on the
fuck.
joint, it is real.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's how I would look at that.
AI
I said
would-
it wrong. I'm
I would
stupid.
have
Oh, you said it wrong.
3 nostrils.
And then I have basically some. This one came out really good. Hold on, check this out. This is what was going down. There was some Imperial forces. Was it or Boba Fett? Boba Fett. Yeah, there you go. He was
Jamie,
he was
maybe
at,
you can
he was
pull
at
this
the,
link up.
He was at the bar Trip Town. Did you know that?
Britt Floyd at Red
Did
Rocks.
you see him? Mark?
No, I'm. Do you guys know how conversations work?
No.
Okay.
Hey, I'm the one. It's the Adam Dunn show, so I can just keep on talking. You guys got to figure out when I'm giving you a break.
Pull up
that's how it
Britt
works.
Floyd at Red Rocks.
Now here is
Yeah, let's go. You
You
got
can
tips?
handle both of them.
these are the clones you're looking for right here. Look at that. Look at that for some AI action right
Did you
there.
see the Leia?
Booyah.
That's pretty
AI?
good.
Huh? Look at that.
Yeah.
These are the clones you're looking for.
Okay.
We didn't even have to dress up.
That's pretty
How
good.
many
dude.
fingers do you have there, Obi Dunn?
Oh, huh? There's no Obi Dunn.
Obi Dunn
That's not me.
Kenobi.
That's not me.
Obi Dunn
you.
Kenobi.
No, that's
Obi Dunn Kenobi.
No,
Yeah, dude.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Anyway, that one came out pretty good.
All right.
So for those of you going to still be here, who aren't leaving town, in June, Britt Floyd is going to be playing at Red Rocks, and we're going to be interviewing Matt Riddle again, the keyboardist, in a few weeks.
Okay. What do you want me to look up?
Britt Floyd,
Red Rocks.
Red Rocks.
June 6th, right?
Give him the
Red Rock.
give him the
Me
link
and
so
me.
people
Hey,
can buy tickets.
Vinny and I can attest. It was a good show. We were first. We weren't sure if I was going to pull it off, and then it did. And I'm sure at Red Rocks it'll be pretty cool.
Well, and this album is. what
That's
are
an
they doing?
ender. That's a show ender there.
Yeah, this is Wish You Were Here.
Oh,
That's a
good.
show.
Oh, that's way better. Because last time it was what album? The album that no one's ever heard of. What was it?
I don't remember.
Come on,
I
Vinny.
had a
You
lot
know
of
the
fun.
name. What was the name of the album that we were going?
Pulse.
No. Oh yeah, Pulse.
Yeah,
the worst
right.
one. The worst one.
Yeah. I mean, you really got to be into them to
Yeah,
really
exactly.
be into it.
And then so when we got there, we were like, "Oh no,
so
it's gonna
glad it's
just
not
be
this.
this." And it was like they
Oh.
started off with that, and I was like, "I don't know any of this. This is no good." And then all of a
But
sudden,
now we don't have to worry about that because it's
no,
just
Wish You
gonna
Were
be
Here
Wish
is
You Were
on. That,
Here.
no, it's
Yeah,
not.
dude.
No,
Wish
they'll
You
do
Was
other
on my
stuff
favorite
too. They'll do the wall.
No, they did part of Dark Side of the Moon. They did part of Animals. They did part of
A lot of parties. It was good. No, it was
Off
good.
the Wall.
We had Nick with us. Nick even at first he was yawning and it was over. I was like, oh no, Nick's gonna fall asleep at fucking Pink Floyd. That doesn't make sense. He fell asleep at Snoop Dogg.
I fell asleep
He
at
fell
Typo
asleep.
Negative.
Did you?
Fell asleep at Jane's
at
Addiction.
He fell asleep at Jane's Addiction. He fell asleep. That's what my kid does. He's like, oh, this is loud music. Whatever. Like, he goes,
No,
on there.
it's
Let's go home.
relaxing. It's like the best white noise.
what? Typo negative?
Yeah, Typo Negative.
Am I remembering now? Was I sitting next to Nick
Where?
Yes.
at Britt Floyd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were there. You were there.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go off, but you were enjoying it also.
No, I was having a great time. I have kids. Are you kidding me?
You were amazed he even made it that far, I think.
Yeah, I was. The kids got energy. Kids got energy. So everyone, go buy some tickets. It's going to sell out if it's not sold out
It's going to
already.
be awesome.
What are we talking about? What's the date?
We're not kidding.
June 6th,
We have
Red
no
Rocks.
dates.
June 6th, Red Rocks.
June 6th. June is a busy month. Look at that. As it always is.
We're almost there.
For those of you not going to Britt Floyd, it'll be Sage and Spirit at Mishawaka Amphitheater. You should go check them out.
What?
Yeah.
Sage, they have to talk to me. I got copyrights on
Brilliant.
that. Well, I'm suing.
Yep. Okay. We need an attorney.
Yes.
Take the case for Adam.
So I don't know what's going on with Mr. Bean. I've been trying to get
I like eating nachos and lip syncing.
I'm thinking he's kind of attaching himself now to the new James Loud podcast, and he's going to leave us.
No.
behind. Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure.
We're done for.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
I mean, he does follow through on the things that he that he does attempt to do. So
Wow,
there's that.
That's real nice.
There's that.
That's
No,
real
but
nice.
everyone should check out. So Adam and I had a great idea several years ago. We even had a vendor who sent us a couple of items, but Vinnie started smoking out of the bong and got it all dirty, and then we couldn't critique it. I sort of asked him how he felt about it. He said he really liked it. He still uses
it to this day. So it has passed the test. Can we do? Should we do the?
Oh wait, this is like the long play.
Yeah, we can do what no one else can do, which we could say, hey, we got this bong. We the way we do our test.
We got this bong 4.5 years ago.
It's not like we get it and we pretend like we tried it a lot. We actually test it for a good 4 years before we do the actual review.
Might have even been a little longer.
There it is.
I'm thinking
there it is.
5
Look
years.
at that. Look at that. Double perk, kind of ridiculous.
Triple perk, bro.
Triple perk.
Yeah.
Cleaning nightmare.
More bubbles, more better.
Like a nightmare to clean. Triple perk.
Bro, I got it down.
Do you? Oh, well, that's when it always breaks. Don't get all cocky.
So James Loud.
I always remember that. I always remember. Don't just fuck it up.
Don't get too cocky with your I never break glass type thing, because that's when it breaks. And it's always when you're cleaning it.
Dude, I remember I was having a terrible day. I came here. I had my last
wait
dab
a
in
minute.
my.
Wait a minute. You sure it was that order? Or was it you came here and then you had a terrible day?
No, I was having a terrible day. I came in here. All I wanted was a dab, and for some reason, I brought my torch dab and all that, and I torched it all up, and it was one of those 45-degree dab like the bangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember.
And so I put my dabber on the front, and it slipped out and broke the dabber. So
It flicked out?
Yeah, I didn't get. And broke the banger, and yeah.
Is that it? That's the broken banger?
Broken banger.
No.
Vinny's broken banger right there, live.
Yeah, and then
Mark did that?
I did that, dude.
You did that.
I did that.
You should get a sticker like.
Well,
Biden
normally
now.
all
I
my
did
stuff
that.
is like gooped together.
It should be a T-shirt.
I did
Broken
that.
Bong Society.
Yeah,
Or, yeah. Broken.
It's just a broken banger.
Broken banger crew.
Broken banger.
Broken banger crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Damn, I know it sucks.
It's not fun.
No, broken glass.
It's a hard life being a stoner.
I'm not going to do it, but I should. I'll
Okay.
save
It
it
was
for
easy.
Patreon.
Everyone would do it.
I got a surprise for Patreon.
They really would.
Yeah.
Really?
Now Vinny's going to put it to use. But anyway, you guys can tune into the James Loud Review podcast. I'm sure it's going to be epic. He's pumping a lot of money into it.
Oh yeah, his production value is out of control.
Yeah.
He's
New
in-
studio.
I mean,
He's
you
launching
can
a
edit after
channel.
the fact. You can do anything.
I
dude.
know editing kind of.
You know?
What are you trying to say, Mark?
I don't know. Maybe we should condense the show into like a 30-minute show.
Yeah.
We talk about things that
Easily
people actually want to hear.
easily
Maybe not talk
digestible.
over the guests for 2 hours of it, and
Dude, how would we do that?
What is
start the show on time.
Dude,
That's going to be the new intro.
These are all terrible ideas.
Mark, grab
What
that.
the-
and that's-
Who is he? Gosh.
That means we would be like a real podcast at
Yeah,
that point.
I know.
I know.
Well,
But
he
I tried-
tried to say that earlier. And,
tried to explain
Adam
that
said he was going to get Mitch slapped.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get Mitch slapped like if you start doing that kind of shit right there.
You said his name. Say it 3 more times. The chat will talk about
They
it.
already talked about him before the show started, dude. It was like they were in there wondering,
We had it.
basically saying that they wish he was here.
Oh, yeah.
That's go to Britpop and dream about
Britt
Mitch.
Floyd.
Why don't you pull
I
up
mean,
some,
Brit Floyd, exactly.
pull up some
It'll have
old
Mitch.
video?
Yeah, we'll just watch some old Mitch
Yeah,
videos.
there you go.
for sure.
Why watch old ones? Just go to his channel, man. He's doing some sick work right now.
He's doing great work.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that all these Mitch fans are actually watching Hoodoo Moses and.
I hope you're supporting his channel if you're
Yeah.
talking
If
about
you're
him
talking
here.
about him here so much.
And in the chat, just tell him that we want him back on the Adam.
yeah, that's exactly. We want. Yeah, exactly.
on.
Say everybody petition. Get a petition.
We need you to crush bones, human bones, and mix it in human blood. And
Look, in our defense, we sent him a video. We recorded
Wanna be a
video
real cult
saying,
member.
Come on down. We'd love to come. Please come back. Actually, I cannot confirm it was his phone because I kind of asked a leading question. I said, "Is this Mitch's phone?" And the person answered, "Yes." So, I mean, we don't really know, but it's the same number he's had in Jersey for a long time. So
This is great.
I thought
Why don't you dox him? Why don't you dox him and put out his number right now?
Tell him his email.
Yeah, tell everything.
it's faceabase@gmail.com.
Yeah,
Just
send all
address
your
it to Mitch.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mitch.
Faceabase@gmail.com.
Everyone knows that.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
Mitch's.
It's for
This
Mitch.
is great.
Please use attention, Mitch.
Attention, Mitch.
Friday afternoon meeting.
This is going to be great.
Only it's a district motherfuckers plan meetings for Friday afternoon.
It's not you, it's me.
Nobody gives a
What is
fuck about
happening right
Friday
now?
afternoon meetings. Nobody even pays attention to what
That's right.
the fuck
They try to
said.
watch us.
Oh, no, thank you. Respectfully to know.
You saw that thing I sent you earlier? Or I sent to the group that was not for the show, but just for the group. With that lizard that was just making up shit. No, did you watch that one?
Lizard that was making up shit?
Just going off. And like, yeah, you didn't see it? I sent it in. It's in the back in our fucking WhatsApp group, wacky group. Everybody has a WhatsApp group that they send all their garbage to, right? Like just like
Yeah,
us.
no, but
You didn't see that? You missed out. It was a
Lizard?
weird. It was a weird one. It was like, what the hell is this? Yeah, so I had to send it in. I was just wondering if you saw it because it was kind of for you. You know,
okay.
There's usually in the group. There's
Right,
like a guy
sure.
you really wanted to see it.
I get it.
And like,
What was in that?
Well,
it was hash, but there's no hash. The hash is here. So
Indian playing clogged with poop? No? Okay. All right.
of course you're gonna have that. I mean, who doesn't have that in their group chat?
You guys joined Coffee Talk with Devin and the dude?
Oh, Devin and the dude.
Hey! Oh, now we're going deep cuts.
Deep cuts right there.
Deep cuts on the Adam Dunn show.
I don't have a lizard thing, man. I
Oh,
don't
he's
know.
got a new thing that he's doing on
I'm looking
Instagram.
for it.
It's
Thought it
called
was
Coffee
funny.
Talk.
It was good. It was good. Where'd it go?
He thought it was funny.
Dude, you're right. The lizard thing's gone.
It's gone, bro.
Fuck, it was so good.
I don't know what happened to it.
Where did I send it? It was one of those ones. It was
One of those.
it's one of those ones where you're just watching it like, holy shit, someone's
You
brain.
know, we should become as like that baby podcast. It's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, baby podcast.
That was
Did you see the one?
funny. The Cheech and Chong one.
I sent one to the drop zone. We should play it before.
Can we play the Cheech and Chong one?
ads.
I don't know if you find it and send it to me. Sure.
Cheech and Chong
I
ad.
sent it to the drop zone.
Oh, for the movie?
The baby one.
What?
I sent it to the drop zone.
Oh, there it is.
Cheech and Chong one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one too. It's not as funny as this one.
Oh.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
Kettlebell got sentient and got really into elk meat. Joe Rogan. Okay, hold up. Why do you sound like me? You sound exactly like me. This is like interviewing myself, but smaller and leakier.
It's weird.
Does that matter now? It's okay if I sound like you, though. No. This is not okay. I've talked to people who claim they've time traveled using celery. I've interviewed a guy who swears bees are psychic. I've even had a Navy pilot describe a Tic Tac UFO doing cartwheels over the ocean. But never have I heard a baby sound exactly like me. You sound like a conspiracy theory that escaped a sensory deprivation tank. This is like looking into a mirror that still wears a diaper. Look, man, I didn't pick this voice. I popped out screaming, and the first nurse on duty actually asked, "Did that baby just ask me about cold plunges and protein shakes?" That's what I'm saying. You cried, and someone probably tried to book you on Spotify. I don't know if I should feed you a bottle or ask you about cold plunges. Let's just move.
Damn.
Yeah. All right.
All right. They're getting better, that's for sure. It's still a little hesitation.
Yeah.
Like you could see it in the face. Didn't really match up perfectly. But
I mean, you know, it's like whatever. James.
whatever. You know, it's
It's
fake.
good enough for people who aren't watching their phones anyways.
Hell yeah. I can't believe that pulled that prompt. I can't believe that
Yeah, it
AI
just pulled all that.
pulled
just-
all that together with
That's
the
pretty
Adam Dunn
amazing.
show, and it even spelled it right because usually it'd be like blargle
Yeah,
glurp, you know what I mean? You'd be
yeah,
like,
well, I was surprised with my magazine cover because everything was like spelled right. The only thing it got wrong was the date. It was a year off for some reason. I don't know why. But
no, but it was on point because usually
and all the writing was perfect. And normally that's the worst part of all these things, like the Sports Fiends logo.
Exactly. I mean, not the Sports Fiends logo, but why they have something bad that doesn't say Fiends.
They have an AI generated logo, and there's some like it's supposed to be like established in 19 blah blah blah, but it's all like all these
Blah, blah, blah,
So I used to
or-
like write those garbled letters in the chat, and they didn't know what I was talking about.
I shit you not. You can look here. Look. What do you know about Dave Charnick? Okay? It says two notables, right? Then I scroll down. It's me and the other one.
Yeah.
And I said, no, that's not me. I said, Make a Mad Magazine image of Dave Charnick, cannabis media person. I just read, what it said. I used the title.
Even spelled it wrong like they did?
I voiced to text, so I don't know what the hell
Cannabis
it was
with a
doing.
K. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like, what the hell's going on here?
It knew what it was.
Wow.
And it said to create, and it said upload photos, and I picked the wrong photo. I don't really know how it works.
That's what I'm saying. You did upload a photo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
just
right.
3
See,
photos, but
I
it's
did
just my
say that.
face.
I said that.
No, but I didn't do anything else. It
Okay.
didn't get the shirt. It didn't do anything.
Oh, okay.
It shows you
It wasn't
the
like-
photos.
Wow, that's closest to that one ish because flipped, but the other one you're wearing glasses. The other one you're in, under red lights, which
I don't have
amazing.
6. How many fingers do I have? I don't even.
Chat's enthralled. They're like, free Mitch.
Hey, Mitch is probably all about AI too. I can imagine because that's he's
Religious AI.
Yes, he's talking spiritually to the AI. I'm sure he's trying to get.
Oh, I wonder if he can like make one of those weird stews that tells you like all the ingredients, like the frog eyes and all that shit.
You're.
Yeah, frog eyes, all
right.
that shit. Bro. Definitely, if there's frog eyes involved.
So I
Mitch
figure
knows
they're
what's
going to
up.
use AI to like find a way to cure cancer or to intricate surgeries
Memes,
in the brain
mostly
or
memes.
something
Mostly
like
memes.
that.
Yeah, 98% memes and about 2% other stuff.
Logos.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it's going to do. It's just going to make people laugh.
Just gonna make people lazy, dude. That's all it's gonna do. I mean, now I'm never gonna hire anybody ever again to do art. No,
Are you watching The Studio?
What?
On Apple TV?
No.
So Seth Rogen is doing a series of Studio, and you guys should just watch it. But they do a little bit on AI about how they tried to slip it in to do some work, and they get called on it.
If someone out there wants to do my graphic artwork for me,
real people,
I'll pay you.
What?
Just hit me up.
Because they're gonna use AI. Do you know that?
I know. That's why I'm like,
that's the lame part.
I almost don't want to throw it out there because they probably are using AI to do
This
the
is
fucking
an
images.
amazing discussion to have. We should,
You know what I mean? Like,
have some people on, because I was thinking, couldn't they use AI to figure out male and female plants long before humans ever know they're sexing? Couldn't there be something that figures things out in the cannabis industry?
Yeah,
we could put it to good work.
I'm sure there are people out there doing
How to breed.
There's definitely. Well, I was talking with some people the other day. They were using it for ferments because they surprisingly had like pretty good results, and they're in depth about timing and things that you just like wouldn't even think about, because it's like you spray this time and then you feed drench this time and then you switch over to this one, and was quite specific on the amounts, and it seemed to be working. So
it's crazy, dude.
But you have to put in the right parameters to tell you what you are doing, so that
Right.
it doesn't fuck up all your shit.
I think that's going to be a job in the future. People who are master prompters.
Oh, of course,
for,
it
like,
already is.
AI.
It
Yeah,
already
like
is.
because
It already
like
is. That's what people. That is the level of college. Like,
Sure.
okay, learn to prompt.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? Which is crazy.
I know. I talk about it. I listen to Howard Stern. It's
Oh,
no lie,
God.
but
He's such
he
a-
had an influencer who was talking about how she was in class in college, saying she needed to Google some of the things that he might ask her so she could look smart in class in real time. So what do you need to be in class for? You just need access to Google.
I know it's. I mean, 100% right now that if you are like Nick's 12, there's no point in him going to fucking any kind of universities in any way, shape, or form, because it's a big waste of time and money, and you can learn everything online already at this point in time. So it's getting crazy.
Yeah,
he's got AI. He's got a AI math teacher that we got him, and like Nick is so comfortable with it, because he's like his generation will have no problem prompting and talking to these things properly, because it's easy. Whereas I swear to God, anybody is like, I don't even want to. I'm so creeped out on the idea of talking to. I don't use any of those features at all.
I don't either.
Because it's just weird. It's just like, nah. I think that all it's doing is learning off of
myself.
It's yeah. And it's also just like you don't want to get too comfortable like that. Like fucking talking to your.
It's the future.
Talking to your phone, like, hey man, what's going on, bro? You're just like, no, you're not. It's not your bro.
I think it seems weird for us, but
it's not your
it's
bro.
not really that weird to me. Like,
it is weird,
dude. Like, I'm fixing a tape deck. I put the model number in there. It got me a schematic to like replace the belts and a video with like a similar tape deck to take apart and like learn how to do it. I don't know. It's just
How much did you talk to it though? You just asked it one question. It wasn't like a big back. I'm talking about like the whole.
I
back
didn't
and
even.
forth
I
thing
sent. I sent
is
a
what creeps me
picture.
out.
I sent a picture of
like
the
Hal.
model
You're
number.
talking to Hal now. It's like
Every customer service agent you speak to in the future will all be AI.
Well, it all starts like that. Yeah, I'm dealing with that right now.
And that
like, every day.
sucks. That sucks. Once you hear it, you know it's going to be lame.
But
this kid named
you
John
can
Connor.
Sarah Connor.
you can shortcut it.
We're at the forefront of a new technology. It's the same way we felt about everything: the steam engine, the combustion engine, radio, television.
Well, like before automobiles, there was something like they were saying like if you went over like 25 miles an hour, like you would collapse. Like, everything would rip apart. You know what I mean? They were so they did not understand speed in any way, shape, or form. They're like, that would tear your whole arms off. You know what I mean? So
It's a few years after we should bleed him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then 100 years later, it's like fucking hyper speed and supersonic and shit. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's new. It's rough because my kids are artists. And so for them, they create paintings.
Well, they want to do my stuff for me. I'll pay them $20 a picture.
Whoa, now you're talking.
I'm just saying
they'll use
have,
AI, dude. They're Dave's kids. They're going to use AI.
They're they're really against it.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're like, this is not artistic. This is taking.
There'll be artisan art and AI art.
Yeah. It's hard. Well, but really, can there be AI art without it learning from us
Exactly.
what art was?
That's the whole thing. It's, I don't know.
But it is funny when you ask it to do it, and like if you have a style that you know or an artist that you know, and fuck, it can nail it. So
I think
hard.
that's the creative part of it. Like, yeah, if you tell it to make a picture, it's gonna do some like AI slop bullshit. But
Yeah.
if you say, I want some AI like shot from an iPhone 16 or something like that, then it'll actually fucking.
Couldn't the
you know what I mean?
argument
Like-
be made from I'm just throwing it out there that the reason why so many artists are upset with AI coming out is because it kind of can make anybody an artist. The artistry is in your prompting AI in what you want it to produce.
Yeah.
So it's a different type of art. It's linguistics
Right.
translated into art.
Well, right now everything's based on like CPUs and availability of memory and all that shit. And as it gets further, like there will be no Hollywood left because there's no point. You know what I mean? It's like you just go, hey, I want to see this movie, but with this characters and this style, and it will just build it for you in a set. Because just right now they can only do it for seconds at a time, or and you have to build those all up.
Okay, so what you just said is now
you
you're
just-
crossing the line with people who won the genetic lottery who get to be influencers because they're good looking. Now you could create that influence through your verbose.
Well, they're just gonna they're gonna have like the state, whatever, if it's television or stations or whatever. The idea would be content created by the people, so the people then you pick out the best one, and you become famous because you see it already.
It takes too long. Let's have AI do it.
You see it already with those
Look
guys.
at Spotify, dude,
like-
with the AI music that they're putting out.
and the
So Spotify is making AI music, and they're collecting all the royalties from the music, and they're pushing it to these like new music playlists. So if you're listening to just random new music playlists on Spotify, there's a chance that 80% or more of that music is AI generated, and all the money's going right back into Spotify. Spotify is taking the musician out of music,
Yeah.
and
Which is crazy.
putting AI artists into your playlist.
So this is probably why they're what's coming soon. You've heard of the Sphere in Las Vegas. It's losing like $1 million a day. Like even when they sell it out, it's still losing money. They can't figure out a way to monetize it because they're having to pay the acts so much.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't they just put AI, I think this is a good thing, but I know someone will hate
It's
me
like
for
Showbiz
it.
Pizza.
Why can't you play old Grateful Dead shows?
Yeah, like that. They used to have that with the fake band or whatever, the marionette band. Or
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's that one.
No, but that's a great idea. I mean, like vintage concerts that are AI gen.
No,
they're gonna do. Oh, it was. Like
I don't want them to recreate
Don't you remember
the music.
our guest? Don't you remember our guest with his
Put like the holograms
with his hologram thing? Remember that? Come on, you remember?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Hologram Tupac, forever. Tupac forever.
Well, something you can't get a hologram of is at Viper Pit Barbecue.
Oh.
You get
Wow.
barbecue pork burnt ends. You get mac and cheese.
Oh. There we go.
Just so you know.
That was good, though.
Tell you later.
So High Cafe, burn ends, dude, I got the biggest rack of ribs that I've ever seen in my
not
whole
gonna believe-
entire life.
I told you. It was
wow.
big, dude.
Dude,
What?
these ribs,
You
Dave.
thought it? You thought
You're
it?
not going to believe. No.
No.
I'll close
Never
the
mind.
odds.
Never mind.
So
These
High
ribs-
Cafe, Viper Pit Barbecue wings.
These ribs that I got from him on Sunday, they didn't even fit in the fucking pan, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they were huge. It was amazing.
Biggest
We
ribs I've
devoured
ever-
like 80% of it that day, and the rest was gone already.
I told you. I sent somebody down here and bought a lot of fucking barbecue. They were very, very, very much impressed.
Dude, I walked in and there was a whole family mowing down with kids running around. I was like, what is going on here? And Vinnie had, what was the kid's name? Two Stroke?
Tupac.
That was the kid's name, right? Two Stroke.
Yeah.
What up, Two Stroke? And the kids
Really? Literally?
That was his name.
Oh, wow.
Right?
I nicknamed him that.
Oh.
The family had
Yeah,
no
that kid-
problem with it at all.
He was running around, man.
Yeah, no, he was running. He was running hard.
Yeah.
So while you're down here, you want to get some Ozo coffee as well. It's served exclusively in the only place in Denver,
Dude, that,
I believe you can
that
get
Mexican is fire.
it. Yeah, you got to try this.
I had I had one of those moments when you're grinding coffee in the morning and it's like you catch the most ultimate whiff of the best.
Yeah.
Like it's like so good that you're like, you gotta stick your nose. Like I was like, Cece, you gotta smell this. Smell that. Smell it.
And what Adam's talking about is ozocoffee.com. Get
It's
the
the
done
shit.
deal. Done deal 2025.
That's Rosin Dogs.
Done Deal 2025 is the code. Ask Rosin Dog. Their single roast is absolutely amazing. Their Ozo blend.
Vinny got a new victim the other day. Guy came in,
What?
bought a bunch of
I
fucking, and then he just like said, "You got coffee?" And then that guy was ordering coffee from New York from somebody, and Vinny's like, "No,
No.
Ozo
Put your
coffee."
phone down
and,
for a sec.
And the guy literally just boomed it, boop booty boop. All right, I just ordered it, so that's what we want to hear.
Sweet.
That's what we want to hear. Instant
It's
orders.
amazing coffee. They just got a new delivery van, so everything is going great at Ozo. You go to ozocoffee.com. Done Deal
Not
2025.
to be disappointed. Soon coming though. Suburban House Blend.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
It's coming, dude. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Buildasoil.com.
Might happen sooner.
Build a soil.
.com.
Crushing it.
855-877-SOIL.
They are putting. Oh, he just got a huge drop from Owl. Was this something Owl Seed Company, or whatever? But he's like about to put down a bunch of seeds, and you can watch the videos and follow Jeremy because White Owl Seeds, and he got this like it was like he got about 100 different seeds to pop. So I think he's going to be taking his time, but. You can check out all their videos, super educational. You can go to, but yeah, if you want to order from them, check it out online and then call them at 855-877-SOIL. Tell them you want the done deal because that's the only way that works.
Only way it works.
Otherwise, you will be sitting there trying to figure out, is
Yeah.
it capital? Is it, what do I have to put it to? D-O-N-E? D-U-N-E?
Or you'll enter it into the promo field and then you'll crash the whole system.
Oh, no, that's what happened last time. It crashed. It was a system crasher.
Yeah.
Yep. Buildasoil.com, 855-877-SOIL. Get the done deal.
Yes, sir.
Yotip.com.
And don't forget fermented plant extracts. We almost forgot Miles.
Yeah, dude,
Never forget Miles.
All hail the king of the wooks.
Oh, King of the Wooks. King of the Wooks.
All hail.
All hail.
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 All hail.
King of the wooks.
Who? That's big. Be careful. Be careful with that. Be careful with that around these days.
Hey.
It's,
We
big,
can't-
it's very controversial.
King of the wooks.
Did you see that video? God. Damn.
Yotip.com.
Not yet.
The better way to smoke. You're going to be standing with some people. You're going to be sharing a joint. And what you should be doing is really wondering, where were they 5 minutes ago? What were they picking? What were they touching? What were they licking? You don't want it. What were they covering up?
Do you have boogers on their joints?
Boogers?
Oh,
Yeah,
hard to
baby.
protect from those.
I mean, we can't stop you from smoking it, but we can keep you from touching it and putting it on your lips.
That's correct. You go to yotip.com. You enter Done Deal at checkout, or you give them a call, or you go to their website, or you follow them on Instagram at Yo Products LLC or Yo Tips Official. Grab some of their merch. You want their rings? Work really well with their Yo Tip XLs. It's a great product. It makes any joint hit better. It's a great company. Yotip.com.
holoshealth.org.
Got to get your med card right now. We need to support the medical industry in Colorado, so it's holoshealth.org. And yes, he does do microdose mushroom therapy, but he is far less expensive than some of the others out there.
holoshealth.org. Dabex.
Look, like I just took a hit off. I didn't even think you were.
They are such a fantastic company. And are they still doing the 420 special?
It doesn't appear to be that way. However, you can get the Dunn deal. It's 25% off. Or 20?
20.
20, okay.
So it's $159.
But you get a free kit.
Yeah, free kit.
Free cleaning
and,
kits. That kind
and
of knocks it up.
you get a chance to get one of these black or red.
We don't even have those.
Goes. We don't even have those.
Because ours are so
You could
good.
be hip.
That's the one thing is we don't really need them because these things are running.
We're old school.
They run forever.
Dude, they run forever.
They really
the
do.
MK Rocket is something. It turns any dab rig, any glass rig into a dab rig. So it's totally lightweight and portable, easily charges really fast.
And the glass that they give you is actually pretty awesome too.
It's super simple,
Like, yep.
easy to clean,
Yep.
and it hits like a champ.
Yep.
Which is really all
Does
you
what it needs
care
to do.
about, right? I mean, it's like because it's like it is a proper bong experience, whereas like you're still sipping like on the go and on all the other companies out there. Most of the time, you're like sipping on it, and you're doing some sort
A
of
little slip and a little noodle.
And over those ones, you're doing like some
noodle.
nipple twitching.
That
and-
sip code,
This one is real simple. Boom, you get the hit. But the other ones, you have to do a lot of work.
100.
It's a
Did you
whole-
see? Anyways,
$159
what's going on?
shipped to your house with the Dunn deal.
Do we see what?
hell yeah.
What do we see?
I just don't want to talk about a competitor while we're.
Oh yeah,
this,
don't do that. Yeah, you can't do that.
14erboulder.com.
So this
Otherwise,
little
Mr.
all-in-one
X, Mr. X approves. I can see it. Ooh.
That little
No, they're actually okay. We were good with them. We're still good. We're still good. But the other one,
you go to 14erboulder.com. Oh, that looks like some AI grass right
that's
there.
so AI, dude. Everybody's AI. Like no,
Look at the fingers.
Come on,
I'm just kidding.
You got to try this vape product right here.
Yeah,
this
it's
all-in-one.
awesome. I'm gonna ride up there and get some.
It is something else. So you go to 14erboulder.com. You enter Dunn deal at checkout. You get 20% off
super AI.
everything in your cart.
Super AI. It's crazy how good it can get to with the weed because it knows weed. Like back in the day when we were like, remember I was like, if you were like in the library and you're like, I'm gonna look up the word cannabis, and you're like, dude, there's a book. There's one book there. No, this is like I'm talking like library
Back in the
cards.
day, yeah.
I'm talking
Dewey
card
Decimal
fingers.
System and shit.
Oh, that was the shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Oh yeah, don't get Vinny going on it. Hey, Boomer
I
Talk.
love the Dewey Decimal System.
Boomer Talk on the Adam Dunn Show. We're going Dewey Decimals. We're going into the library. Got our little, and then you have that little metal thing on your library card. You remember that? Remember that little deal?
No.
You didn't have that?
No, I didn't have a metal
We're
thing.
going back to when a bus in New York City cost $0.25.
Oh Jesus!
And there's a payphone that costs $0.25.
payphone.
No,
in general.
payphones were nickels.
Oh, I see.
No evidence.
No,
I never
10 cents,
I never
I think is all I
encountered.
remember. I don't remember nickels.
I never encountered anything less
no,
than a
10
quarter.
cents. It was
10
a
cents?
dime. It was always dropping a dime.
Dropping a dime.
Remember
right.
that was the whole
A
point.
dime.
Dropping
That
a
was it.
dime.
Drop a dime. They're dropping
Right.
a dime on
Dropping
me.
a dime. You should know about that.
Yeah.
Oh, cop, Flatfoot.
14er Boulder, get the done deal. Grove bags. The magical bags to put some cannabis in.
It is.
I show you not. It is.
They're
It's
taking over.
It truly is.
As the layperson on the crew here, I'm telling you, I don't grow weed, but I have a lot of weed in bags, and I come across it that I forgot where it was, and if it's in one of these terp locks,
It's good.
I know it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's crazy, and they're crushing it right now. They're doing the Kush and Sour cup out in New York. They're on every, like anytime I see an event, it's like, oh, they're already there. Like I'm about to like say like, oh, they should have had terp blocks, but in the end.
There's
with
something
Grove bags.
about the plastic bag that Mr. X is using on his weed right over there that makes it smell plasticky.
Oh, it's terrible.
That does not
It's like
happen
a bunch
with
of
Grove
PVC.
bags.
Well, like the Mylar thing.
Microplastics, a lot of
what?
microplastics. Yeah.
It's really it's bad for
Dude,
you.
did you hear the statistics about microplastics?
Yeah, I got like a teaspoon in my brain.
Teaspoon, and well, Dave's got at least a fucking.
I got a cup.
Got a cup. Like,
Yeah, it's all in my balls and everything too.
Oh, there's a lot in your balls.
Is
It's
that
pretty
why?
much brain and balls is all plastic.
Brain and balls.
Yeah. But if it,
No shit.
but I forgot who was.
Oh, cool.
Somebody was saying. I was listening to some. Oh, I know who it was. It was fucking. Of course, it was Theo. Theo was saying, "Oh wait, that's pretty good because it'll like get all the fucking wrinkles out and shit. Like,
I mean, you know, he has a point.
he has a point.
has a point.
He's on point. But that was it.
Beauty from the inside out.
Inside out.
Yeah.
There you go, Mark.
Grovebags.com. Check it out.
Done deal.
HortitechDirect.com.
The greenhouse for any environment, any climate, any longitude, any latitude. You give them a call. You go to HortitechDirect.com, or it's, 541-605-3555. Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 Pacific. Tell me you heard about it on the show. I don't see the brushes. You noticed that last week.
I know what's going on.
They're gone.
So now they're valuable, and we have some. I have a whole. I got like 6 of them.
Oh,
that's what you would have got if you bought a greenhouse. All you guys out there that talked big talk.
I think it was an oversight.
We've been offering for years now, and it's like when there's
I'm going all the way to the bottom. I don't
Could it
see
be
no
that maybe
brushes,
there was some copyright infringement or something?
No, they made those custom.
Let's
Those were
give Jared a
custom.
call.
Those were custom made.
I've seen those before, though.
Not those ones, because if you looked at them, the bristles are not round; they're square, they're rectangular, which is
okay.
So it had a whole new design. They completely built it from the ground up.
All right, dude.
I know the history of brushes now. They were on the show. If you listen to the Adam Dunn show, you will learn.
Find it.
Dave learned about
AI.
boofing. I learned about
brushes.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Hey, it's the
back.
brushes.
They're back. They're back.
They're back. They're there.
We were worried.
All right, you just got to click on
But
the
you see the
product
shape?
button.
Not see the shape?
Mark,
No.
don't send that email I said to
go
send
through.
to them calling
Do they
me
show a front shot?
motherfuckers.
They don't show a front shot? Yeah, see how they're rectangular. Oh. Because you think basting brush from like barbecue spot like here in Sohi. But
Oh,
it's
and
not.
you're thinking $19.99? No.
No,
Buy a
free.
$35,000 greenhouse, you're going to get 6 for free.
Come on, can't beat that. Mr. X is doing the math. Mr. X is doing the math over there. Look at him. Look at him.
He's crunching the numbers.
He's crunching numbers. He's not impressed.
He's like, that doesn't work out.
How is $150? What the heck is going on there?
That's a 10-pack of brushes, dude.
Whoa, what's going on?
HortitechDirect.com.
10-pack is way.
Wait a minute. We need to up it. Buy a greenhouse, get a 10-pack.
Oh, I guess we have to now that they've decided
Now we
to go
know.
that
Yeah.
big.
HortitechDirect. Direct. Get the done deal.
0.0001% discount.
Terpwipes.com/done deal.
These guys are the greatest, okay? This product is a must-have if you have an Adam in your life, okay? You know what I'm saying. He might not understand, but
He's all goopy.
We understand
Goop
this,
bag.
okay?
They call me Goop. The Goopster.
It's a little different right now. He takes a little bit more precaution because we have a cloth. But when we were sitting on the
I
landladies,
burnt a hole in it though, so I did that. I
Of
did do
course you
that
did.
at least.
Vinny, it was Adam.
He knows. He knows.
Remember the days of the rig rags, bro.
Shout out to Jeremy Rig Rags.
Rig Rags.
Rig Rag Jeremy. Rig Rag. He's
Sure.
actually doing a cup. I saw him doing he was doing the auto cup before. Remember Jeremy? Auto cup?
Yes.
Yes. So Jeremy is doing another smaller cup. I don't know what the theme was, but I saw him posting the other day. I was like, oh, he's out there rig ragging it, still rig ragging it.
Love it.
Those were in the swing days. Remember the swing? Come on.
Oh, yeah. The little glass swing. Yeah.
Not even glass, titanium swing.
Oh, right. Yeah. No.
And they made the
No, you're
glass
Later.
They made the Atom Smasher. I don't know if you
has,
remember
like,
that. Do you remember
this-
the Atom Smasher? You might have remembered. It was the first.
You don't remember the Atom Smasher?
It was the glass one that
Interesting.
you had a hinge and you'd swing it around and it would stick. You don't
Anyways, we got 2 testimonials from the chat here. They love Terp Wipes.
Yes.
You need them too.
You need them.
Terpwipes.com/done deal.
Anybody who's a stoner needs those.
THC and CBD.
Did you take yours last week?
Butter? Yes, I did.
You didn't forget? Did you use it already?
Not
No.
yet.
Got a little stockpile.
I do have a stockpile of edibles right now that are kicking my ass. It's crazy.
It's hard to catch
It
up
really
to the
is,
edible
dude. Like
world.
people are like giving me
You're like,
all
oh,
kinds
yeah,
of cookies
edibles.
and crazy shit, and I'm like,
I got a fridge just for edibles.
The tiny
don't-
little Dab Logic ones that Alanya gave us, and that peanut butter.
Oh, those little squares.
Oh,
It's rough. You know what? I'll be honest.
What, together like a little snack
No,
attack,
I'm saying that I do the same thing. I eat too much of both of them. That little fucking square thing, I'm eating 100 milligrams right away. And you have 4 or 5 spoonfuls, you're having more, and it's half the jar's gone. And you're like,
He's got the Haagen-Dazs syndrome going on over there.
yeah.
You have the Haagen-Dazs syndrome.
You can get the CBD infused nut butters delivered to your door. THC, you click the Find Our Nuts button. You can get them at all these finest Colorado dispensaries. Numbnutsco.com. Find Our Nuts. Do it. JeromeBaker.com.
Oh, shout out to Jerome Baker over there in Vegas at the Dream Factory. pumping out the heat and putting out and being at so many events. You just got to follow him on. They got to follow their crew online because they're either they're over here, they're over there, they're doing live stuff. They're in Hawaii, they're in New York, they're in, just everywhere. I actually had a little mess back and forth with him today to get some merch done for us because they always have the good hookups on that stuff. And it was just funny because I was talking to his friend Laverne, who does 420 promos out in Flint, Michigan, and we just started lament. He told me about when he met Jason, and I told him when I met Jason, and we went and lamented on some. It was all about him being just like as we know him, like, hey man, I'm at this booth and I need like a couch. Can I use your couch that you have in your spot? Fuck yeah, I'll leave it out on the island out in front of my place. Like as casual as you could be, but making it happen.
Or you get that random phone call from him somewhere. He's at a festival somewhere and he has an idea he needs to throw past you. That all of a sudden he has this idea and he's going to tell you about it right in that moment. And you better listen.
Yes, that was awesome. So anyway, Jerome Baker, if you're looking for old school glass, that is your obvious stop. And it was one of the coolest moments was when we were doing the show from the spot, and that guy was buying his bong, and he came and sat down and was like crying,
so
almost crying. He was so happy.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, I've been waiting like 20 years for this moment."
That's how it was when I bought mine, dude.
And it was like, it was so cool. So that's what Jerome Baker's bongs are all about.
That's right.
None of these triple perk fucking can't clean them kind of pieces, right, Vinny?
Hey-o.
Vinny loves that shit.
I love to clean those triple perks.
He loves that.
He's got a method, okay?
Yeah, there's a method.
Yeah.
To his madness.
Yeah.
Jerome
Thanks,
Baker,
Mark,
shout out to the Dream
Gasoline.
Factory in Las Vegas. SeedsHereNow.com, number one cannabis seed bank. What?
Cut me off. I was going to say that.
Okay. Go for it.
No,
You know Mark
you
always
stole it.
says all this. You never say
He
it.
doesn't read anything. He knows it from the
It's
heart.
all from
I
the
was going to
heart.
read something.
Yeah, read something, brother.
Go ahead.
Number one cannabis seed bank. SeedsHereNow.com.
Okay. Check out the May Mayhem sale up to 60%
Hey, who's
off
the breeder of the
seeds.
month?
The breeder of the month is
whoa,
goat
whoa.
and monkey seeds, 45% off. We have the flavor of the month, which is grapes.
That's been the flavor of the month for 2 months running.
No, it hasn't.
No, it hasn't.
Okay.
Nope. Cheese
No, it's
last
strawberries.
month.
Oh, it's cheese or something, right? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it was cheese. I think it was cheese last month.
Mayhem sale.
I know that
I'm
James
saying
Bean's
it
on
was-
a shit, so
I'm
we're
saying-
good. But
I've been trying to get him to come on the show for the last 2 weeks.
man, if you follow him directly, he put out some pretty cool shit today. So
Yeah,
if you want to check that
you want to
out,
think about
yeah.
the king of AI? Here he is, right
Yeah,
here.
no shit, right?
This guy.
Yeah, so
This fucking guy.
I didn't think he used it.
Dude, he made you into a guy getting eaten by hippos. Remember that?
Oh, yeah,
that was
I remember
funny.
That was a good one.
But if you want live genetics, you can check out iwantclones.com, the future of cannabis clones. Premium quality, clean, authentic, no bullshit. Shop now, iwantclones.com, seedsherenow.com. Trusted, vetted cannabis genetics.
There you go. Oh, speaking of vetted, Mark,
dude.
Mark, man,
Right there, dude.
fucking we had the Westword supermodel, and now we
I
have
know.
the Adam Dunn show supermodel.
I know, that's me.
all in
I'm
the
right
house.
there.
Well, that kind of looks like Cece.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
In
keep
the
saying
middle.
that.
It's
He
not.
says no every
red
time.
one.
I'm saying, I'm saying,
Not
nope.
the face. It's like the face of
Nope.
Mr. X.
No, still not happening.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, you know,
All right.
join the cult. Get a
Join the
jacket.
code, get a jacket.
Wait.
I got a pin that says, let's start
Get
a
a
cult. It's the
jacket
Kool-Aid
and
Man.
join the cult.
Start a cult, whatever. It's fine.
Start one in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
No.
Start your chapter of the Adam Dunn
Chapter.
Show
There you go.
cult.
Oh yeah, chapters. That's good. We'll
don't
have a meetup.
use
We'll
the
do a
C
meetup.
word.
You know, regional meetups,
Regional cult meetups.
regional chapter meetups. It'll be
call
Tony.
them-
It's gonna be Tony Baloney.
Call them cult ups.
What was that?
It'll be
What was
Tony
that
Baloney.
line in Porky's
studio.
where they
Bright guy. It'll be
the-
bright guy
the,
and then
the pastor. So saith the shepherd. So saith the flock. That's you have to get. We have to do an AI video.
You have that Pope picture still up there?
Oh, yeah, somewhere.
Because it's happened.
It
I know.
happened.
And he's from the States. It's
It-
crazy.
I know.
Is he from New York?
He's from Chicago.
Chicago. He's from
Chicago.
Chicago.
They have pictures of him at like the White Sox World Series in like long time ago because it's been a long time since they've been there.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, no agenda did the big foam finger with the American foam finger on the Pope. It was like
I was going to say something really
Racist?
bad. Oh,
Uh-oh,
no.
we
Not
have an
for-
expired
what?
code on Terp wipes.
No.
What?
We have to check it out.
Turpwipes.com/.
Get on.
They don't put a code.
There's
in.
no code. It's turpwipes.com/done deal.
Oh yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
There
you have
you
to
go.
go to the website.
Don't even mess with no codes. See,
Yeah.
sometimes we have codes, sometimes direct.
Turpwipes.com/done deal.
That's the deal.
All right.
Good job.
Okay.
That was like
They just sent us a box of whatever. How many did we get? So
2,000
it's
boxes.
obviously working.
We're loaded. I'll go through that in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
man.
And don't forget about Patreon. Don't forget about Patreon.
Oh, let's not also throw out a shout out to the Dude Grows Cup coming up with our brother Kyle, who is running now.
The Hash Bash.
Dude,
Do you have that graphics?
Dude Grows Hash
no.
Bash.
What?
Is
I mean,
what are they calling it?
It's the Hash Bash.
Not Dude Grows Hash Bash?
No, because that's the day before. Dude Grows. It's two separate events, but they're basically co-mingling because Kyle's doing the hash sort of side of it all, and they are doing their DGC Cup. So the DGC Cup is on one day, Hash Bash the next day, same
Can we
location.
have fun with those letters? DGCH Cup.
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know. Mr. X, he's witty.
Yeah.
No, he's
he's definitely not interested in moving numbers around. You don't have
Get him some wings.
I'm looking.
Get him some wings.
Kyle's listening. Kyle's listening, and he's going to be bombarding you in seconds.
Yeah,
or
bombarding
me. Or
you.
me. If I have to look it up. Do I have to look it up?
Kyle.
No, it's okay. Mark's
on it.
I mean,
he's just slow.
Look up Hash Bash.
Hash Bash Cup?
Dude Grows Cup.
No, Ann Arbor. Denver Sandbox Club?
Yes,
I don't know.
that's it.
That's it.
Oh.
With a skull? It's got a big skull?
I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude.
Skulls. Yeah.
This is
It's a good. What? It is. It is. I said the
There
wrong
it
date
is.
last time.
Here.
There it is.
June 8th.
There it is. And
June
last week I
8th,
said
11
the 9th.
a.m. to 6 p.m.
And we will be there.
June 7th is the Dude Grows Cup, and June 6th is Brit Floyd.
Holy cannoli, rock and
It's a
roll.
trifecta.
We're gonna hit. It's
Wait.
a triple indie, dude.
What is June 6th? Is that a Friday?
Yes. It's a non-stopper.
We're going to have to do the show, then go straight to Red Rocks.
Well, we're 18 minutes away, door to door.
Door to
How's
door,
that? How's
Dave.
that?
Maybe we'll have one of their runners shuttle us there. So we
yeah,
don't have
with
to
the band.
drive.
With the band. The whole band will be here
Well, but
instead
that
of
would
Or
suck.
we could just take the day off, guys, and you guys go enjoy a concert and have a great time.
No. Blasphemy.
Never.
Is there anybody out there who knows what is it called again, Mark?
June 5th.
DBS.
Oh, it's June 5th.
June 5th. Ruined.
Ruined your plan.
Oh, Red Rocks, so we don't have to do that?
No.
Okay, good.
That's on a
Even
Thursday
better.
then.
What's on June 6th? What did we say June 6th was?
Us. That's our show day.
No, but were we talking about that earlier?
We thought it was June 6th.
Oh, okay.
Man, Dave.
Wow,
Thank you,
Dave.
Vinnie.
Dave, you're trying to make us go back in time and think about stuff?
Ooh.
That doesn't work.
Could we do that?
No.
Did you hear about that company, though? That claims to have accelerated a photon past C?
Okay.
Yeah, blow your
Yeah,
mind.
whatever.
Time travel.
There's not happening.
What?
Oh, they've already done that with two things in two places at once and all that kind of. Is that the one went through the hole? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm not saying anything.
They shoot
man.
it
I
and,
don't wanna-
and all of a sudden it splits and they're like, hey, go
Don't talk about it.
All right, join us on Patreon. Where can
Uh-oh.
I catch you guys on the web,
There
guys?
it is. Hold on. Let's hold on. It's right on the website.
www.
Hold on. I lost
He
it now.
calls me a boomer because I say
DGCcup.com.
www.
At hashbash25 on Instagram. And of course, he is watching.
DGCcup.com?
Yes.
DGCcup.com. It's all there, bro.
All there, bro.
Kyle is on it. I told you he would respond. Good. Because he loves Travis, not because of us. He only watched it because of Travis.
All right. I put
That
the
was a
link
fantastic
in.
photo of Travis.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes.
You know,
Find
Mark,
it?
Mark
Yeah,
got a little
Good
dude.
job. All right. Well, I'm just making sure everything's working. Firing, and that's literally 1 month away, which is pretty cool. So we got
Yeah.
1 month to, and then right after that, it's like a snowball effect because we got my birthday, then we got Cece's birthday, then we got my kid's birthday. It's just nonstop birthday. It's like and it's on Sunday this year, so I can finally do it.
You
Sunday,
talking about your birthday.
Sunday.
means-
Isn't that awesome?
Gotta let Cece plan something.
Huh? There it is. And the killer flyer.
Vermilion.
Who did the graphics? I want to know.
AI.
Kyle did. Was it AI? Because they're really good.
Looks AI.
It's that. Damn it, you AI, and your decent quality that we have no reason to change. It's like sometimes it hits it on the first note.
I love that all you can consume. It's so great.
There'll be some.
There'll be the equivalent of like a 600-pound guy that shows up at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Show up. Bring it on. Like, oh, wait, he's not done yet? No, he's... oh, shit. All right, that's Mark.
Anyway, if you are a
Patreon
Patreon member already, then we'll be seeing you in a little bit. If not, join Patreon. Come hang out.
Yeah, I put the link in the chat.
You got a whole extra hour or so.
And a
it's
link
usually
to the
day
chat.
free. It's usually day free. That's already a selling point right there.
You come talk to us. Make it
this
your show.
time, no, I don't know. Maybe half free.
I'll do my best. We'll see how the puppy does.
Now we don't, and I don't know if landlady is up still or what's going on.
Is she gonna call in from?
I hope so. I hope so.
Where is she? Ireland?
She's in Italy.
Wait, she's in Italy?
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was like so jealous about the food. I was like, oh man, I bet you can go right outside to anything and it'll be so much better than anything you can find here.
Wait, whoa.
What?
Vinny, he did not mean that.
Except for the Sohai Cafe, of course. But I'm talking like
whatever.
Italian, real. I'm talking
Molto bene.
an actual kitchen inside of a building. That's what I'm talking about.
A Parmigiano.
Not a big giant.
I'm not a big fan of actual kitchens.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, Nick did it. Oh,
Mark
nice.
likes his food fast.
Nick, designer Nick. Not my
All right.
Nick. N-I-C-K.
Yeah.
Stop by Patreon.
That's killer. No, it looks good. Good job.
All right, Mark. Go get out of here.
Now I know. Now I know Nick really well. 100% AI. 100%. 100%.
Come get some barbecue.
All right, guys. Thank you, and
Peace.
see you over there. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Cece, and PDX Amazing. Killing it. Building Volk Industries. Cybersecurity. 12 years old.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm like, what are you doing? Weird. He's got on and offline security things. He's taking everything offline. So you, like Authenticator. He
Uh-huh.
built an Authenticator that doesn't work on internet.
Yeah.
So you can do all of that stuff offline and not get exposed to hacking. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's called
Yeah, fuck you, Hertz.
Nah, we have that stuff at work.
Just got hacked.
offline stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yep.
you don't want to be exactly. But he just, he's just scripting it. It's not like he made it up. Like it's a
No, yeah.
He just scripted his own version called Auth Kitty or something. Like
Come
that.
to Patreon.
Anyway, you know how it goes.
Hell yeah.
Peace
Good
out,
job, Nick.
guys. Good job, Nick. Later, guys.